And the reason I don't is because a very close family member came out as trans. And I spent a whole lot of time talking to them and, well, not even talking to them, listening to them and trying to understand the world from their point of view. And what I ultimately learned is that my being called a cis woman does not damage me. It doesn't take anything away from me. But if it helps even one trans person or helps the hurts that they feel on a daily basis, then I'm cool with it.
Okay, wonderful. So because your family member wants to pretend to be a woman, you're okay with the word cis, which makes womanhood an umbrella term. That's you. And I frankly do not care. Your nephew or your son or whoever he is will never be a woman. Woman is an adult human female, and he is an adult male, which makes him a man. I'm not a cis, I'm not a cisgender or nothing like that. And I refuse to be called that to make somebody who's mentally unwell feel comfortable. Do you ladies have anything you want to say?
Better preach.
Can I get the big box? Can I get the big box?
Say it again for the
I don't
people in
want
the
it to be
back.
up.
May I respond to that before I go?
Sure you may.
Okay, thank you so much. And I truly respect your opinion. I've held that opinion. But I think that you make an awfully lot of assumptions in the statement that you just made. For one, the person is now a trans man. They were born with a female identity.
Oh, so she's suffering from mental problems. I hope she gets the psychiatric help that she needs.
Quite, I love that you said no transphobia, but
we don't tolerate transphobia.
You are making extremely transphobic comments. When you start
what is transphobic about what I said?
When you start saying that trans people are mentally ill, that's
what is gender dysphoria? What is gender dysphoria?
Well, gender dysphoria has a definition.
Mental illness.
The DMV
Let I respond.
on 7 now, and you can look that up, but you really need to look up the definition of transphobia.
Listen, ma'am. I asked you a question. You refused to answer the question. Then you're telling me to look something up. Gender dysphoria is in the DSM what?
7, I believe we're on version 7.
We're not at 7 yet. It won't come out until next year if I'm not incorrect. So we're on to the DSM-6. It's in there. It's been in there. It was in the DSM right throughout the DSM-5, right?
Yes.
Right throughout there. Okay? So if it is right there with schizophrenia, eating disorders like bulimia, anorexia, what are those things?
It's not right in there with those things.
Do you want to look it up?
I have looked it up, as a matter of fact.
You don't see gender dysphoria with schizophrenia?
Your arguments are hasty
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you again.
Your arguments are hasty generalizations.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you again.
And
go and look up.
Me being a
ma'am, we don't tolerate transphobia, ma'am. We don't tolerate transphobia of any kind. Okay? No, your niece or your cousin or whoever she is a woman. She will pass away as a woman. Her bones will be dug up as a woman. Okay? That's just all it is. You not understanding that it is in fact a mental illness because it speaks to an incongruence with reality based on who you are is the problem. Okay? Don't get upset with me because I'm speaking on basic biology and common sense. It is a mental disorder. No, you can unmute yourself, ma'am.
Can I say something, Shanta?
Sure.
So do you know where the word cisgender originated from?
No, honey, there's a reason why I didn't want to put it up. When I spoke about it, it's not banana. Yeah.
I want you to actually research where it originated from so you can educate yourself on why that terminology is offensive.
Who's cosplay?
That's Phantom in the live saying that we're scared of them.
Oh, have they requested?
I hope they do, because I want to know what I'm scared of.
Phantom, you can request. I'll bring you up, sweetheart. So, Angela, do you understand now?
Oh, I understand perfectly, but I don't believe that you understand.
What don't you think I understand?
I think that you hold transphobic views and are propagating
What
transphobic.
about my views are transphobic?
Well, okay, let me ask you a question.
No, 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 no. Answer the question, ma'am. This is the problem. You
Well,
made
the
a
problem
statement.
is
I
that you
asked you to
believe that
solidify your statement. What about my views that are transphobic?
transphobia and people who are trans are mentally ill.
What is gender dysphoria, ma'am?
Ma'am, what is depression?
Ma'am, what is gender dysphoria?
It is a medical diagnosis that is.
What type of medical diagnosis?
Ma'am,
Is it
let me
a
finish my. If you want me
mental?
to answer the question, then let me answer the
Yes,
question.
you say it's a medical diagnosis. Okay, we
And you
understand that.
didn't
What
let me
type of
finish my
medical
statement.
diagnosis? Is it a psychiatric diagnosis?
Ma'am, are you in the medical field?
Ma'am, is it a psychiatric
Ma'am, are you in the
diagnosis?
medical
Oh
field?
my God. I'm gonna have to cut you out, Angelica.
I think you
Ma'am,
should because
is
I'm
it
done dealing with
a
your
is it
transphobia.
a
Goodbye.
psychological diagnosis? Is it a psychiatric diagnosis? Okay, she left.
I'm in the medical field before I became disabled, and it is classified as a mental illness. And I beg anybody to come up here and debate me. Please, 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 please come and
The
debate
facts
me.
are gender dysphoria is right there with schizophrenia, bulimia, did, and a whole host of other mental disorders. That's what it is. The fact that she refused to acknowledge what kind of medical diagnosis it was proves that she already know. Yes, please. Thank you. We don't do the pronouns thing here. We don't do the pronouns thing here. Please and thank you. Just your age. Thank you. All right. So, what are your thoughts? Okay. So, what is okay? Wonderful. So, what is gender dysphoria? Oh, they're saying that they can't hear you. Hold on. Mute for a minute, and then unmute because they're saying that they can't hear you. So the live
Hello.
is about, yeah, mute and then unmute. Sometimes that helps. Mute.
Did that work?
You didn't mute, sweetheart. Okay. So the live is about civil discourse and conversations. We don't tolerate transphobia, homophobia, or heterophobia. No hateful rhetoric, ideology, or behavior. No bigotry, bullying, or harassment is ever tolerated on the live. We respect people's pronouns by using the correct pronouns. We never misgender people, right? Your bigotry and your transphobia will not be tolerated. All right, go ahead, Bill. So, what is gender dysphoria?
Gender dysphoria in the DSM-5 is a mental illness. However, not all trans people suffer from
No, I
gender
didn't ask
dysphoria.
you that. We established that it's a mental disorder. Yeah, but what does it consist of? What are the symptoms? What is the definition thereof?
Normally, gender dysphoria is when you have extreme distress when your gender identity does not align with your biological sex. Mainly to
Okay,
do with
so
characteristics. Sometimes it has to do with psychosocial.
okay, wonderful. So psychosocial or the physical, right?
Yeah, like distress that arises from the incongruence of those two. Yeah.
So it's an incongruence that is formed through the psychosocial or physical discomfort one experiences with their birth gender, right?
Birth gender? What
Yeah,
do you mean
their
by
birth
that?
gender. Yeah, you're
Do you
born a
mean their
boy.
birth
Boy
sex?
is a gender. Do you know that boy is a
Yeah.
gender?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
boy
so
is a gender term.
what are young males born as?
Only the male would know.
What are young males classed as?
Well, they're told they're either a boy or a girl, but we know that that
So
sometimes is not
you
right.
hold on.
Don't always end up being boys.
I didn't ask you that. I'm going to ask you again, and I need a definitive answer, else we cannot continue this conversation. Because right there, no, you're perpetuating transphobia. So I'm going to ask you again. What are young males classed as?
Can I mention one thing?
After you answer this question, you can mention a plethora if you so desire. What are young
Okay.
males classed as?
Either male or boys.
Boy. Okay. Is boy a gender?
Yeah, it's a gender term.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So, gender dysphoria is the incongruence one experiences, whether psychosocial or physical, with one's born gender.
Once again, I don't think you're understanding the difference between gender and sex there.
I'm going to ask you again. We just established that young males are classed as boy, which is a gender spectrum. Hold on, hold on. I
Okay.
am going to agree with you that gender is a social construct for this argument.
Yeah.
Okay? It is a social construct. So, societally, we've constructed young males to be what? What? And we
Mhm.
construct adult males to be what?
Well, adult males now we're seeing that we're going to class them as like women or men.
Okay,
If you're
men.
progressive,
Wonderful.
if
Hold on,
you're
hold on,
extremely
hold on,
conservative,
hold on, hold on. We're going to leave it at that. Just for the argument's sake, we're just going to keep the answers short and precise. So, societally, young males are classed as boys,
mhm,
right? And adult males are classed as men. And gender is a social construct. So societally, these are the classifications on young males gender wise. Okay, we've established that.
yeah,
So
and that
gender
makes sense because
dysphoria,
trans people do not make up the majority of people.
yes, we know
So
all that. We will
yeah,
elaborate on
so
that, but we have to
so
come to.
are you playing on majority rule in society? Like
No, we're not playing on
majority?
majority rules here. We're just playing on where the argument or where the debate will go from. So we have to set
But yeah, you're saying
a
society, right?
basis for our
Society as a
discussion.
whole.
And I to establish the grown argument, the premise of our discussion. So we have to find out what gender dysphoria is to know if it is in fact a mental disorder and if or not all trans people suffer from that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Wonderful.
I don't disagree with the fact that gender dysphoria is a mental.
With the incongruence of their birth gender.
I wouldn't say it's an or. I would say it's an incongruence between their gender and their biological sex. Is probably the
Okay,
easiest
so
way to
what are
say that.
young males? What are young males?
Young males, their gender.
Young males, yes, young males' genders are what?
Statistically is the only thing I can give you. Like I'm pretty sure it's like what, like
So statistically,
2.8%
majority
of the
rules, they're
population?
boys. They're boys,
Yeah,
right?
the majority of them are boys, yeah.
Wonderful,
And actually, I
wonderful.
would argue that almost all of them are classified as boys unless they're intersex. So they're probably all
Okay,
going to be
okay.
classified as
Yes, we've
boys.
established that. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So we established that during birth, one is assigned a gender, right? Whether
Yeah, but gender
boy
doesn't
or
develop
girl.
for the boy until the ages of 3 or 7.
No, 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 sweetheart. No, 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 no. You don't develop into a boy at 3. Your gender is assigned to you at birth.
That would be your sex.
So you're telling me that you guys say that gender is a social construct and one is assigned a sex at birth,
Oh,
right?
it's a psychosocial construct, which means it
It's a
has to do with how
psychosocial
society
construct.
sees you and
Wonderful.
how you interact with society.
Wonderful. When a mother's baby is born, does the doctor tell them it's a male or do they say it's a boy? Do the doctors presume the baby's gender identity and assigns them based on their sex?
Yeah, no, they do that. They presume is the key word there.
Yeah, they presume
And
the baby's
98%
gender.
of the time, they're right.
Okay, wonderful. So we established that they assume the baby's gender based on their sex, right?
Yeah,
So wonderful. So when those little boys, those young males are assigned boys at boys to grow up to be men, right?
yeah. I mean,
Boys and men.
yeah.
Wonderful.
The only
So
difference being
gender.
a
So you
child and
you
adult.
establish. Hold on. I'm just trying to establish something here. So
Mhm.
you agree that gender dysphoria is an incongruence with one's psychosocial discomfort and physical discomfort that are affiliated or were assigned to them at birth gender. Wonderful, wonderful. So if it is that all trans people don't suffer from gender dysphoria, with it, which is an unease or discomfort, right? An extreme discomfort with one's birth gender. Why is it that all trans people want to be called anything but their birth gender's forms? Why is it that trans women want to be called she, her, even if they don't physically transition, but just want to socially transition? Why do they want to be called she, her, if they're not experiencing discomfort with being called he?
Gotcha. So you're asking why do people need to go by pronouns when they aren't?
Yes, if it is that all of them don't suffer from discomfort with their birth gender, why is it that they all want to be identified as different pronouns separate from their birth gender?
Gotcha. So I think the easiest way I can explain this was, I know this example is used a lot, but women with PCOS who just have
No,
difficult
we're
facial
not
hair
we're not
because they have a
talking
health
about
spike.
women. We're talking about trans people, sweetheart. So keep the
Yeah, I'm trying to
conversation.
relate it. I'm trying to
No,
relate
you
it
can't
to a
relate
certain
trans issues
situation
to
so that
woman
it's
issues.
easier
They're
to
two separate
explain.
issues. No, please explain it to me in a way that has to do with trans people and not women. Please and thank
Oh
you.
yeah, no, it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing.
No, it's not, sweetheart.
Well, could I use this example and then you can tell me whether you think it's valid or not, and then I'll make.
Once women came into the conversation that has to do with gender identity rather than a state of being, it's not equatable. So maybe you
You
could use
do
something else.
do you believe that trans women are women, or do you believe trans
No,
women are not?
there's only one type of woman, and that's an adult human female. So I'm going to ask you again: if trans people, if all trans people don't experience gender dysphoria, because you've not answered the question.
But do you
If all
understand
trans
what the
people,
definition of female is?
no, no, hold on, we're not going to
You
move from
said
one
woman is
topic
an
to the
adult
next
human
and from
female.
another
Do you
to
understand what
one.
the definition of female is?
Sweetheart,
And that,
sweetheart,
yeah,
Estella Bell, we have to stay on topic, sweetheart. So I'm going to ask you again. If all trans people don't experience gender dysphoria, why is it that all of them experience discomfort by being addressed as their birth gender?
gotcha. Because their birth gender is not what their gender is. The doctor they presumed wrong. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be addressed with who you are.
Okay, so the doctors presume wrong because you said that gender is a social construct, and I agree with you. So societally,
Psychosocial, yes.
yes, psychosocial, wonderful. So if it is that societally, right,
Hmm.
we've all come to the conclusion based on our psychology, where our
What do you mean by
brains.
we all?
Okay, so the majority rules. Have you ever heard that term?
Yeah, majority rules. Is that something we should go by when we're talking about a minority?
Yes, sweetheart,
Why is that?
because society rules, majority rules.
Does that mean it's right?
Even if it's not right, the society has literally come together and said, this is what we expect. This is what we've acknowledged. This is what we formulated to be this, that's, and the third. This is what we formulated to be morally acceptable, and this is what we do not. Right? The
Do you
majority then,
understand?
therefore, have to present their cards and get more people to rally around them to become the majority to make their stance, the popular one. But this is how every society works, right or wrong. So if society has
So if
constructed,
sorry, I think you asked me a question. This is
yeah,
how society
I want you
works.
to answer.
Yes, that is how society works. The question we should all be asking is this how society should work? And no, it's not, because society should always work towards the inclusion of all minorities.
If
So there's never
society
like
works,
a racial
but sweetheart,
supremacy, an ableist
sweetheart,
supremacy, an ageist
sweetheart,
supremacy. Yeah.
sweetheart, if the society worked for everybody, that would have to include white supremacy.
Supremacy means that one group is above than the other. That
But
should not be the
sir,
case
you're
at
not
all.
understanding your argument. Your argument is that everybody in society should be accepted. Then you're saying that, if we accept everybody whose opinion is the majority, then we would have people like the Ku Klux Klan running rampant. So you're agreeing with me that society has to exclude certain demographic for the society to be better. And society has excluded your community as abnormal, right? Society has constructed what a woman is and what a man is. And based on societal construct, trans women are men and not women, based on society. So if it is that you argue that gender is a social construct based on society, then by your own logic, you are invalidating trans women from being women.
That's based on the idea that you think trans people are some sort of vile group that deserves to be excluded.
Sweetheart,
I don't believe that.
I could never think that a human being is vile unless I see
Oh,
them.
no, I'm not saying
unless
you
I
think that.
know.
I'm saying the point that you're making is based on
No, sweetheart, you're not
you're
going to
equating
sympathy
trans
monger.
people to a group that
No,
needs to be
sweetheart. The
excluded.
humanity of trans people have never been questioned on my life. We know that they're men and they're women, maybe, mentally unwell, but their humanity has never come into question. We know that they're human beings, right? And with that, I can treat them with civility, right? There are a few that have earned my respect and I've given it to them, but wanting to play victim isn't going to work on my life, sweetheart. So your argument is,
Can you explain to me how I'm playing victim?
yes,
I was just
by saying that my rhetoric is dehumanizing them, which is in fact not.
I don't think I said dehumanize. I just said your point. If you said, because you're bringing up the tolerance of the intolerance fallacy, where you can't tolerate intolerance because it doesn't work.
So,
That's assuming trans
we
women are
tolerate
an
intolerance
intolerant
every
group.
day. We tolerate intolerance every day.
Yes, but how can you say that like trans people are a cause to be intolerant as opposed to be inclusion?
No, nobody said that
What
they're
are
a
you
cause to
basing
be
that on?
intolerant. I'm saying that every society ostracizes certain groups.
Is that
Every
right?
society, is it right?
Yeah, is it right to ostracize
The
certain
right
groups for
or
being
wrong
different?
isn't the premise of the argument, sweetheart. But this is
Yeah,
how
and
society works.
I think the argument goes a lot farther than just saying this is right and wrong. When we're
No,
talking about societal
exactly.
expectations, society is a lot more complex. So you have to ask
I'm
questions
glad
like,
that you understand.
should this be working? Should we include these people?
No, but society throughout centuries has reasons for excluding certain groups.
Do you know what the reason for the basis of our binary gender system was?
Our biology.
Actually, a lot of it is rooted in Christian colonialism.
Actually, I would say that a lot of it is rooted in our biology since women don't come with phalluses.
Yeah, a lot of them are rooted in biology. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
But like the last major push that we saw in the binary of gender was Christian colonialism, where Christianity was spread so far that in certain cultures where there were more than one gender or more than two genders,
Which society had
they
more
were
than
like
one gender?
eradicated.
Which
I'm sorry.
society is more than one gender?
I believe you have multiple indigenous tribes in Australia that celebrate a third gender. You have a group in Hawaii that also does it.
Those are
I'm
not third
gonna
genders. Those are not third genders. Every society has established that there are men and women and that they're male and female. One man is able to impregnate the woman and the woman is able to become impregnated.
yeah,
There
and
are people who
you're
step
making a
out.
sex-based claim there, but that also
Yeah, because
excludes the
the,
idea of intersex people. Society
intersex
is
isn't a
also
separate sex.
intersex isn't a what?
Intersex isn't a separate sex.
Oh yeah, it is absolutely.
Oh, what gametes does male produce?
Well, they produce male, female. If you're going to use the chromosome ones, there's over
No,
28
we're
different
not. We're not
variants.
speaking on chromosome. I asked you specifically for gametes. Which gametes do males produce?
If you're relating this to intersex,
No, I'm
sometimes
not
intersex
relating
people will
anything to
produce female or
intersex,
male.
sweetheart. I asked you a specific question. Which gametes do male produce? If you don't know what gametes are, just say that so I can explain.
Explain. I'm going to need a refresher on gametes. I
Okay,
always just thought they were
so
male gametes
males,
versus female gametes.
male, it's okay. Males produce smaller gametes, which we call sperm. Women produce large gametes that we call, right, ova, eggs. Okay? So, based on that, those two sexes, intersex, what gametes does it produce?
Sometimes it can be both, actually.
Can you name me a case where it produces both?
Um, Not off the top of my head, no.
Okay, so intersex is incapable of producing both because that would allow human beings to be classed as hermaphrodites, which is the
Ooh, wait, hold on.
ability
That
to
is a
tell.
slur. I don't
No,
think you
it's
can
not.
use
It's a
that on
medical
TikTok.
term. No,
You
it's a
cannot use
medical
that on
term.
TikTok.
You don't have to use it. I will. It's a medical term. So
I'm not comfortable continuing forward if we're going to use slurs in this context.
there
I don't
that
feel
is not a
comfortable going
slur. That
forward
is a
with this.
medical definition.
I don't know. I've had intersex people literally tell me they don't like that word.
Sir, intersex people are separate from hermaphrodites. There are certain slugs, snails, right, frogs that are hermaphrodite, which is the ability to self-impregnate. Human beings do not possess that capability.
Were you referring to an animal when you said that word?
Exactly what I'm saying.
Were you referring to an animal when you said that
She
word, or were
said
you
they will
referring to
be
people?
considered one. She did not say that they are one. She said that will be
No, he's
considered what
looking
they
for a
are.
reason to run. He's looking for a
Goodness
reason to,
gracious.
Estella Bell, sir, if you're looking for a reason to run, you don't have to come up here and say, oh, you use bigoted words. You can just click on the little X right at the top right corner of your screen and you can leave.
No, I don't want to be associated with slurs.
Sir, these are medical terms. I'm telling you, I'm not
I
asking you.
understand that they can be medical terms, but
It's not
certain
what
medical
they
terms
can
have
be, it's what
very
they are.
dangerous context.
Sir, that is not being used in a dangerous context when I'm referring to slugs and snails and frogs. You can
Are
leave
you
if
part
you
of the
want, sir.
intersex community? Have you heard from the
Intersex people are
intersex
not
community?
hermaphrodites, sir.
I know that has no relation on whether or not the slur is used against them as a group.
Sir, nobody here is using a word for intersex other
So
than intersex.
do you have to use the word specifically for it to be a slur?
All right, thank you, sir. You can leave. I'm not even going to kick you because obviously you want to run and I'm not going to kick you. You can leave.
Oh, I'm fine not running.
Okay, you can leave, sweetheart.
Okay, I would just watch that word. That's all I'm saying. Thank you for
It's
having me
okay.
up.
You lost the conversation and you want to run. Take care. Thank you. Thank you for coming on.
Okay, bye bye.
Have a great day.
Mhm.
You see, when they can't win the conversation, they want to come about, oh, you're using bigoted words, you're using slurs, this, and the third. It's an actual medical term that I literally use to describe frogs and snails. Estella, you're still here, bro. You can click on the little X at the top of your screen and you can leave. Go ahead, Estella. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. I hope you're doing good as well. I
Likewise.
saw the topic. I'm not no cis. I'm simply a woman, and I've been looking at a lot of these lives where they're talking about this conversation. I guess it's a popular conversation, and I just wanted to say I like the passion behind how you're standing up to this. It's really really refreshing to see. Because for me, I really take that as an offense, because I am a woman. It's like I just was listening to you, and I just love the passion behind it. I truly do. Um,
Much respect.
and I like how you stand up, because it's a really difficult conversation to have these days. It's like you don't have the right to call yourself a woman anymore, and it's like now you have to be scared to say that, and it's very offensive.
It is. The fact that they want to make woman an umbrella term,
Mm-hmm.
to me is just disgusting. We fought so hard to be, who we are, to express ourselves the way that we want. And for men to try to equate themselves to us based on their feelings, to me, is the most misogynistic thing any man could do. And if
It's
you
like they're
ask
still
me,
using masculine energy. Still, they're
And
still using
yeah,
masculine energy.
it's always been like that, So now you're taking away from us and then turning it around, and it's like,
Hmm.
I mean, one of the most offensive one to me was birthing person. That's when I was like, you know what? That's it. That's it.
You were birthed by a woman at the end of the day. Like, wow, how can you even? That's crazy.
I have someone in the comments said, well, how are you? We never said you weren't a woman. Yeah, you use the word cis. What
You're
is that?
belittling it. You're
Yeah.
belittling it. Literally.
I was somewhere, I can't really disclose where I was, but they really have that now as an option to refer who you are as cis, and I'm just like, what? I actually left the place when I went there. I left, and I was like, because this is so disrespectful. It truly is, and I hope it doesn't go any further. I truly do. Truly do.
it will go further the more we remain quiet. We need to stop playing along with these men in wigs, calling them what their mother birthed them, calling them their proper pronouns, right? Because she, her are pronouns exclusively for the female sex. Okay? So I don't know why an adult male would want me to call him she, her. It's not going to happen. I will call you what your mom birthed you. You want to call me sis? I will call you sir. And there it is. You don't get my respect because you based on your feelings when you get up in the morning and you had this, this, what's the word? This,
I guess
what's,
this the sense of like not being who they like, not being male or female. Are you saying that when they wake up, they don't
no,
feel
this,
like that?
this enlightenment that you are in fact a woman. You get up in the morning with a morning wood. Yeah, this epiphany. They get up in the morning with morning wood, they scratch their nutsacks, they go into the mirror, they apply lipstick, and then you're like, yeah, I'm a woman. That is not going to work. As long as there is breath in my body, I will stand up and against this narrative that womanhood is somehow equatable to manhood. It's pun intended. It's not going to happen. And they can
Rocky,
banana me all they want. I will make 1,000,000 accounts if I have to.
And the fact that they
Rocky
narrow
said in
us
the
down.
comments
I'm
that
sorry. Go ahead.
they're calling a woman's private a bonus hole now.
Yes, they
Oh
are.
Lord!
And
Wow.
you know who petitioned for that? Proposed this idea that women's badges are to be called bonus holes, to include men who can never suffer from cervical cancer. If it is that a woman is on testosterone and she decides to become a bearded lady, you are still a bearded lady. So if you get cervical cancer, it's because you're an adult human female, which is what society class as a woman. What kind of inclusion is needed in that? Men do not get cervical cancer.
My goodness, this is deep. Wow. Oof.
I'm gonna add opposition. You ladies can say what you want because
Okay.
Goddess, you can go ahead and give your closing argument.
Okay. No, I just want to add that I will be down in the comments. All right. Thank you.
All right, big up yourself, Goddess.
All right. Let me see.
Y'all tap the screen and make sure you send some gifts. Tap the screen. Thank you.
I just think it's like,
Just so you
oh,
know,
go ahead,
I
baby.
love you. So I followed you. Yeah, I like you.
Big up yourself, Talisa. I just accepted somebody. I guess he chickened out.
He
And
been
he
talking stuff in the
ran.
comments.
They're always talking shit in the comments, but they never want to get in the box.
No, he finally up here now. Hey.
Oh yeah, hello.
Hi,
Hi.
how old are you?
I'm 23 years old.
Pardon?
23.
Oh, you're 23. Great. How was your day?
My day is great, thank you. How is yours?
Could be better. You know, sitting on a white sandy beach in Jamaica, but soon. So what are your thoughts?
So I have a couple of questions, but logical knowledge, but I
I'm
don't
not equipped
understand
with
what
anything.
exactly your position.
I'm not equipped
No,
with
you said you
biological
are good at.
knowledge. Who told you that?
Okay. No, basic biological knowledge. That's what you said while you were
I don't
arguing
even have
another
basic
person.
biological knowledge. I just remember some stuff that were taught to me in like the 5th grade. That's all I know.
Yeah, okay.
Is that cold?
So what I want to say that the term cis has been in the terminology of medical and psychological and chemical expertise, and it's not just a new thing. It can be maybe 100 years old or maybe more than 100 years old, and it has
Okay.
been defined as a biological, or it's just a term. So I
Yeah,
don't understand why would
we're in
someone would be
science.
offended by that.
Yeah, where in science is cis used, if you don't mind me asking.
For example, there is this psychology.
He was like pretty recently. People didn't start using that word so recently.
Yeah, no, we wanna know where it is used. He's Googling. Give him some time, give him some time to Google. Let him take his time. Go ahead, ladies, until he comes back. You can talk.
Saying it is a
Talking
medical,
about the fact that
but that they use it in medical situations. That it's not used out
no.
in
So,
the.
for example,
Yeah, when was cis? Where in science
so
or
first of all,
medicine
we
is
have
cis
to
used?
understand.
Emil, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I asked you a question. Where in science specifically is the term cis used, and how is it used? If you don't mind me asking. Emil, you're Googling, and I presume that you're reading from
Information.
Google. But when you do that, you're muted.
No, I'm not reading
muted, but
from
rather
Google.
paused. Okay, so
No,
where in
I did just recheck. So this was used by a sexologist, a German sexologist, who wrote about
no,
this
that would
sexual
be
inclinations and behavior.
sociology, sweetheart. So I'm gonna ask you again. Where in medicine? Do you understand what I mean by medicine? Like chemistry, biology, physics, that
Yeah,
thereabout.
in chemistry, Psychology is a broad term, and it might have lots of different methods and different kind of,
I
coming
don't think
to
he understands.
describe.
Can somebody explain to me? Because I only know to explain in like scientific. All right, sweetheart. Sexology
Yes.
is based more on sociology, like
So
behavioral
that's what
patterns,
happens.
and it would have to. Hold on.
Yeah,
It
okay.
would sometimes go into brain pattern as well, which would also include neurology, which is rooted in biology. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, where in medicine is cis used?
I wouldn't be able to answer that because I'm not able to answer that.
Okay, so it is originally used in chemistry, right? Chemistry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
and it was used. It was used to, right, class elements of like quantities, right? Okay,
Yeah.
that's why it is
Yep.
used. The terminology, or the definition is on this side. So it was used to class like-minded elements, right? In chemistry.
Yes.
No, it is also used in biology, but it's used to class like DNA patterns as well. Okay? So
Yes.
where cisgender comes in, it would not be a scientific term. It would have to be more on the social term. Do you understand? So
So
it's not a
I completely understand
biological
your side,
phrase. Pardon?
but we'll have to understand what makes up the science. So, for example, sociology is a science,
Yeah, but we call it soft science. You know what
or
soft
sexology
science
is a
is?
science.
Yes, it's soft science. Soft science. More
Just
on feelings.
Shanta, can I ask him a
so that's
question?
how you describe it.
Can I ask you a
No, it's not
question?
how I describe it. So
Go
the
on.
medical field describes it.
Can I ask you a question? Why do people like you get up
Go.
here and try to justify a word that we do not want to be called? You like people they don't want us to call them, he or whatever the case may be. So why can it not be respected both ways?
I think it's completely your right to say that you do not want to be called cis, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But my point is, I just don't understand why there's so much hatred towards it.
I mean, we're explaining
Because
it. It's belittling women. That's exactly what
yes,
it's doing.
it's degrading us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
it's
that's
removing our
exactly
belittling.
what it's
It's
womanhood.
doing.
belittling us. It's belittling us, and where it originated from. The truth about it, we do not want to be associated with that type of terminology because of its origination. Like, come on,
Because of
like
its
if you're gonna
origin.
look up the German, if you want to look up the German doctor, then you need to look up him and his entirety and what he was and the monster that he was and why he came up with that terminology in the first place. I do not want to be associated with that. I am simply a woman. I was born an infant girl. I became a little girl. I then became a teen girl who then developed into a woman. That is just simply what I am.
So,
Please do your
and
research on this German person so you can fully understand in its entirety where that terminology came from, why it's offensive, it's degrading, it's immoral, and it's unethical to refer to a natural born woman in that manner, especially when we are voicing we do not want to be associated with that. I will not give one single person on this earth my respect if they do not respect me and my opinion, because if it wasn't for the man bringing forth the life, a woman would not be able to create it. A man needs a woman to create life. Stop attacking creators of life. Okay? We do
all right,
not like it. If you can't
I
respect
completely, as
it,
I said,
then if you can't respect it, then just leave.
I completely understand what all this about, but there is still another question. So you are saying that
Go ahead.
you are feeling belittled, or you are feeling like this term is some kind of endangering. So don't you think then we are bringing the same argument that you guys use against trans people, saying that facts do not care about your feelings. So how about that?
Well, the thing is, you have to care about our feelings when you're appropriating us. If
And
you are
oppressing
the
us.
appropriator, if you are the appropriator, you have to care about our feelings. Because without us, there will not be anyone that you can emulate. So if it is that you want to be in our spaces, you have to respect our feelings. That's just how it is, right? Womanhood is not an umbrella term, and men will not fall under the category thereof. There will always be men. They are under the category of men. Simple.
But why we do not respect the feelings of the trans people?
Because
Because
feelings are
I'm not
subjugated to
us.
change. Hold on.
Okay, I would be. I would like this conversation to be respected, and not just I do not
I know,
interrupt
I know, I
anyone,
know, I
and
know.
I'm just
I
asking
know.
questions.
I know. That's why I said, that's why I stopped it. Ladies, I respect you guys, but you have to understand. This is a live that I don't get a lot of ops from. And this is why when they come in respectful, I try to let them speak. I know that you guys are feeling passionate on all of that, right? You can speak when there's nobody in the box, but I don't want this to be like their lives when there's like 3 people, 4 people against them. We don't want to scare them. You
Feel you.
understand? Yeah, this is why I allow them to speak. I know that when we go on their lives, they mute us, they kick us out, all of that. But I want to allow them to speak. All right?
My bad, Shanta.
No problem. Go ahead, Emil.
Yeah, so I just was confused that I completely understand, and I think feelings matter, but I just don't understand why feelings matter do not apply when we are talking about the trans lives or the feelings of trans people.
Because, sweetheart, you see, when women are speaking about our feelings, the people that are imitating us and emulating us have to respect our feelings because they are fashioning themselves to be like us. They want to be in our spaces. It's not us that want to be in theirs. You understand? And given the fact
Yeah,
that our
but these
feelings
are
will
still
never
feelings.
change, our feelings will never change because we know that we are just women. Their feelings can change because they are men imitating women. At any time, just like how they got up in the morning and say, you know what, I feel like a woman, they can get up the next morning and say, you know what, I feel like a man. So our feelings trump
Well,
theirs.
that would be contradictory.
No, it has happened. There is a thing called detransitioners.
Yeah, and
Have you heard about that?
yeah, I know. Yeah, I have been familiar with that. And also one fact is that if people are in the comments I'm reading, if they are considering I'm trans, no, I'm a man and I don't identify as trans. But I just don't understand why there is so much hate against trans people. with certain
Nobody
terms.
here hates
It's
them.
just
Nobody here hates trans people. This isn't a transphobic live. This is about educational purposes only. We condemn every form of transphobia and homophobia. We go so far as to respect people's pronouns by make sure that we call them the correct pronouns. Okay? This isn't about hate. This is about acceptance. And most importantly, acceptance of self. So we want all the men out there who refuse to acknowledge and accept themselves to accept and acknowledge that they are in fact men and will never be us women. Okay? It's about acceptance and love. Okay?
so. But how would you describe transphobia, for example? I'm not gonna say that if because I'm not a trans person, I cannot say if you are being transphobic. But I'm really feeling that there is certain way that you are describing certain issues regarding trans people, and I would say that it would come
Like
under the
what?
like
What
transphobia.
have I said
For
that hurt
example,
trans people?
like just in the comments, there was a person here before me that
We're
talking,
not speaking in
and
the comments. We're not speaking in the comments. What makes you think that I am dangerous for trans people? That's all I asked you.
I cannot memorize what exactly you said before, but I can
But
clearly
if
tell
it were
that.
so transphobic, you would have remembered it because it would have literally, been spoken in such hatred that you would have remembered. So obviously, it wasn't transphobic because you don't even remember what was said. Huh?
Well, I do remember because there were a lot of things that I would consider as transphobic.
Can you name
And
one? Please name one.
since they are transphobic, I do not want to say them, but
Can you allude to it? Allude to it.
like alluding, for example, you are trying to say that trans identity is all about pretending, like putting
All
a
right.
wig
So
on and having male genitalia underneath
so
and
all right. If I
just
hold on,
spreading.
hold on. I'm gonna ask you something. What is pretending?
Pretending, for example, being someone or being something that is not genuine or not what it is.
Or not real?
Yeah.
Could it be classed as not real?
Reality is a matter of perception.
No.
Or
We're not asking about reality. What is pretending? It's pretending, fashioning yourself to be something that you're not. Children pretend.
Yes.
Like my son pretends that he's Spider-Man. Right? So
Yeah,
he's
that would
fashioning
be it.
himself like Spider-Man, right? But he's really
Yeah.
not. Okay. So if women societally and biologically are adult females, if a man puts on the characteristics that is socially ascribed to women predominantly, is he not pretending?
I would say it's a kind of expression.
No. We have
That
already established, hold on, sweetheart, we can't go from the word. We can't go from the word. We cannot, come up with drum up definitions in our heads to suit our lives. We have to go by society needs structure. So based on societal concept of what pretend is, right? Fashioning yourself, imitating, emulating, right? To be something that you're not, right? Little children saying that they're
Yeah.
Spider-Man, right? Pretending like
Yeah.
they're Spider-Man, dressing up in the costume, fashioning themselves to look like him, but they are not him. What do you call a man that gets up and adorn himself in what society ascribes to being woman? Isn't that also pretending?
I would call the person that just trans person or trans woman
What is
or trans man.
cosplay? What is cosplay?
I don't think gender can be cosplayed.
I'm not
It's an
asking you that. I'm
intrinsic
asking you
feeling.
what is cosplay?
The cosplaying, like taking certain characteristics of something and portraying that in yourself.
Okay, so would you say that they're cosplayers then?
I wouldn't say they are cosplayers, no, because
So,
as I said,
but
the gender
sweetheart,
identity is a
sweetheart,
strong feeling.
but sweetheart, here's the thing, my love. Gender isn't an identity. It's rooted in biology. Therefore, that is why only women have breast disease, only women lactate, only women give birth, only women have menstrual cycles, only women, have ovaries and eggs, right? Only women.
Yeah,
Okay, so gender is rooted in our biology, and the only way gender would not be rooted in our biology is if both genders were capable of doing the exact same thing. Then you could say it is a social construct because at one point you can fashion yourself in either or the either because both possess the same capabilities. But since each gender is separated by specific characteristics based solely right, on their biology, then gender cannot be socially constructed. It is biologically constructed.
I do believe that gender has biological roots, as you mentioned, And that's why there is for example, things called gender affirmative therapy or gender dysphoria. But I just still don't think that gender identity is cosplaying. Gender identity
But
is
it
more
is.
like intrinsic feeling, or it's very
Yes,
strong, and you cannot
feeling.
just be.
But sweetheart, cosplayers feel as if they want to dress up like their favorite characters. It's an instructive feeling as well, intrusive. That you have people who cosplay every single day. They can't leave their houses without dressing up as their favorite characters. So it's the same thing. If anything, I think that gender dysphoria is more of body dysmorphia rather than anything else, right? It's a sense of unease with your body, wanting your body to be something other than itself, right? Because there is no way a man can be a woman, whether surgically, societally, or biologically. It's impossible.
Hey,
Jenny, are you a biologist? No, I finished school at like the 5th grade. I don't know much about biology.
hey,
I just know the basic.
Shanta, I'm gonna
Yeah.
drop and come back later, okay, babe? Thank you for
All
having
right,
me on.
honey. No problem. Big up yourself.
Yeah, if you end this live and go live again tonight, just send it to me, babe.
No problem, sweetheart. Take care.
You too, baby.
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah. So you understand, Emil?
Yeah, I understand, but again, I don't think we are just like waking up in the morning and we are completely a biological species. Or if we were, like we wouldn't have any difference from the animal society. For example, how animal societies are run based on completely their biological features. But I think humans
But
are more complex.
humans are more complex, but yet throughout humanity, we've understood the same thing. You know what I mean? The complexities that you guys allude to doesn't exist. If anything, humans are flawed, whether it be neurologically, societally, right? That's just all it is. And with those flaws, we get people that, think that there's something that they're not.
And that's, for example, your feeling. That's how
No,
you
that's
feel
not
about
my
the matter.
feeling. That's not my feeling. Those are the facts.
I
If
think
humanity,
you
you think I can what?
can define facts in your way. For example, the feelings that you mentioned, and before, for example, there were people saying that we are feeling that the term cis is endangering or belittling. And I think the same way that you feel that gender identity is cosplaying or pretending.
It's not a feeling.
And
Those are the facts. Because it's your own self-perception. Gender identity is your self-perception based on your feelings. And if it is your self-perception to adorn yourself a certain type of way in a caricature of someone or something, that is in fact cosplaying.
I think calling it cosplaying is very damaging for lots of people.
You know what's
And
damaging?
I
Calling
would,
women chest feeders, breeding person, birthing
isn't
person,
it a fact?
bleeders. Hold on, I'm
At the
speaking.
same time,
Bonus
okay.
hole. Hold on. You notice I allowed you to speak?
Yes, sorry.
Bonus
I'm sorry.
holes, incubators. That is very damaging because it's removing the humanity of women and solely focusing on our reproductive organs as if we're cattle. That's very damaging because you see, throughout centuries, women were not seen as anything other than a place for a man to get his rocks off. And with this ideology, it's bringing back women to that era. And that's why it's very dangerous. Me calling you a cosplayer isn't damaging because that's what you are. You can take off your costume at any time, right? I can't take away my womanhood, no matter how I try.
Yeah, so, and I'm assuming that in the beginning you also mentioned that these are facts and how this is belittling and endangering and taking the humanity from women's lives. But also
No,
at the
I
same
said
time,
that
wouldn't you?
this, I never said that it's taking the humanity. It's saying it's erasing women. And I stand by that.
Yeah, I completely understand that. But at the same time, I think this is a feeling, and
It's
wouldn't
not
you
a
also
feeling, it's a
call it?
fact. No, it's not a feeling, it's a
Wouldn't you?
fact. Because when men who are impersonating women don't want to be called female impersonators, but then they want to call the one they're impersonating cis women. That is literally the erasure of women.
But no one is calling anyone. I haven't seen anyone calling anyone like breastfeeder or birthing person.
Oh,
Where are these
yes, darling.
instances coming from?
It's literally happening. Certain hospitals, women are going to have their babies and are not being called mothers anymore. They're being called parent one or parent two. Women are literally which one of these? It's an organization that caters to cervical cancer, right? It's a fundraiser, right? And basically, they propose that women's badges be called bonus holes to be more inclusive.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what's happening in the US, but that's certainly not
Oh,
the
it's
case
happening in the UK as
other
well,
side.
sweetheart. It's happening in the UK. Maybe you should do some research.
Well, I will certainly do my research, but I have never heard bonus holes in my life, and I think
You've
I
never
would
heard of
call
bonus
that
hole?
a
You must
damaging
be living
term.
under a rock. You must be living under a rock. Literally.
I certainly am not, but
Maybe you do some more research. Do some more research and then you can come back. I'm on almost every day, chronically online.
and
But you
one more
can
thing. Let's
go
say
ahead.
this is my last question. So, if you are, as you mentioned, that we have to, let's say, prioritize the facts over feelings, but what about the fact that woman is really the birth person?
If woman
Like,
was rooted in birth person, that makes it even more inclusive to adult human females. And why would a man ever equate to a birthing person? Because they will never be able to give birth.
I couldn't get it. Would you please
Oh, it's
repeat
okay.
it again?
You can't get it. You just said that woman is rooted in birthing person. And I agree with you. It's a person who is able to give birth. So that even more so excludes trannies, which are men imitating us.
So
So run along,
the
go
word
and
that you
tell them
mentioned,
that, them being a man in wigs and makeup will never put them in the category of a birthing person, which is what you said is a woman. Take care.
but can we pay attention to the fact?
You see, these men don't respect women. They don't respect women, calling us, oh, woman is rooted in. I agree with you. It is rooted in our ability to give birth. Therefore, a tranny will never equate. There you go. Shantae needs to take her meds. Actually, there's no history of mental illness in my family. I checked when I was pregnant. You wouldn't know that because you're a man and you are not able to become pregnant. Touch grass. All right. When you come in the live, don't try to be disrespectful. Keep the conversation respectful. Keep it cordial, keep it nice, and it will go well. All right? In my day, you calling me a granny would hurt my feelings, but it's 2023 and you calling me a granny means that I'm an old woman who've given many a birth, and I'm not offended, sweetheart. Try again, my sweetie. Hello, Martha. How old are you?
I'm 42.
Wonderful. What are your thoughts?
Well, I really just think that what cis does is it makes women a subcategory of ourselves so that our language is given over to men. It's like a tricky little manipulation so that
Yep.
we have to give over our language to males. And I like they say, oh, it's been a term forever, blah blah blah, but we've never called women cis women until gender ideology exploded all over the place, right? So this is a new thing. This is a new tactic. This
To
is a new
erase women.
misogynistic. Yes, yes, it's a new misogyny. The whole trans ideology is a new misogyny that women are now dealing with.
Yep. And it's sad to see so many women co-sign this ideology, calling themselves cis, calling men women. To me, we are literally spearheading our own destruction.
Well, it's see the thing is, it's been sold to women as a civil rights movement. It's been sold as something that we should be empathetic to, and women are extremely empathetic creatures. We care so much about others, and so much little about ourselves. And this whole thing has made women really have to step into our selfishness and be like, you know what? No. We've had to be like, the answer is no, and you are not going to do this to us. And there's a lot of women who are willing to do that, but there's still tons of women who are not ready to do that. They don't know that they're even allowed to do that. And so
And
sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead. I was just going to say that's why I'm here to
Yeah.
encourage women to be emboldened and to stand up
Yes,
for our womanhood. Don't allow men to erase you based on their feelings.
exactly.
They're men.
And we need women like you doing this. Like, and this is why I was so happy to see this live, because like my lives always get shut down within 15 minutes, and I'm seeing more and more of these lives of women standing up and saying, no, we're not going to tolerate this. And then it shows other women, hey, you're allowed to say no. You're allowed to say that you are a woman, and that we have a definition that we can describe ourselves with, describe our sex-based reality with, and it doesn't need to be made this like nebulous fuzzy meaning that also includes men. And it is such an erasure tactic. It is such a power tactic, and it's so manipulative. And because it's being sold as be nice, be empathetic, be kind, like that's all speaking women's language, like so women do want to be kind, they do want to be empathetic, and they're also selling this idea that there's some kind of a you can't say the word, but there's a trans, like what happened in the 1940s to a certain group of people. They're saying that, yeah, so they're saying that's what's happening to
No such
trans
thing.
people.
No such
No,
thing.
exactly,
There is no
but
genocide
they're
on these
screaming it.
people. That's a
Oh, you
lie.
can
If
say that word?
anything, there's a genocide on woman. Yeah, there's a
Oh,
genocide on
exactly.
heterosexual men, with these people perpetuating this narrative that they are, in fact, how they feel, right? Men are not
Yeah.
safe, straight men are not safe, and women are not safe in our own spaces. This is the erasure and genocide against the family, the two-parent home that consists of the man and the woman, and us raising our kids. That is what is happening.
Well, there's an actual femicide going on. Like women are offed every, what is it, every 6 seconds in the world. Like it's that's the real. But we're always, none of that stuff's ever talked about, right? Like it's always like, oh, they never talk about the femicide. They never talk about hate crimes against women. They're like, that doesn't exist in society's narrative, And but now they center trans identified males and say, okay, these guys are just, they're having such a hard time in society. They're more likely to be, essayed and cis is part of that, is a weapon in that war And we need to call it out. We need to be like, no, like, yeah, they say it's always been used in certain circumstances. Well, you can take anything that has been used and you can weaponize it. And that's what's
It's a
happening.
lie.
They're weaponizing the word. Yeah, they're
They
weaponizing the
always
word
say
cis
it's used in
against
certain
women.
circumstances, but then they can't pinpoint
Yeah.
the circumstances. It's a lie. It's a lie.
Yeah, and a
But
lot of this
beautiful.
stuff, and
Go ahead.
yeah,
I'm,
if
I'm
you
gonna allow you to
trace,
say. I'm gonna allow you to say your final words, and then I'm just gonna get ups because I do want the ups in. But go ahead.
yeah, and if we allow, like, if we allow this kind of erasure to happen, it's just going to progress. And if you trace back words like cis and gender ideology and queer theory, if you start to trace those all back, they come from very, very sick people like John Money, like Alfred Kinsey, people who were P3 apologists and P3s themselves. This is a very sick ideology. It's a very it's funded by transhumanist, transvestite billionaires like Martine Rothblatt and Jennifer Pritzker. It's a top-down thing. It's a men's rights movement, and so we do need to fight it with everything we've got, especially women. And that's my final thoughts.
Thank you, beautiful. Thank you for coming on, and you're welcome anytime. Take care.
You too.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How old are you?
I'm 31.
Okay, awesome. What are your thoughts?
I think that when I was younger, so I'm a gay man. When I was younger and I was like a teenager, I used to have like slightly like transphobic views. I used to just feel like I just felt like trans people and drag queens were kind of like invading the movement or whatever, and I felt like their existence was kind of a reflection on my community, and that everything they did kind of weakened my stance as a gay man. It felt like I feel like they're making it seem like all of us want to dress like women and we all have some sort of identity crisis and we want to wear dresses and skirts, and that's not what it's about. I just want to love who I want and this and that. And it just took me some growing from that to realize that they are a lot like me. They just want to live how they want to live, just how I want to live. If they want to do whatever they want to do, it really shouldn't affect me because there's bad in everything. You know what I mean? Like, I realize that those are my brothers and sisters and I should love them unconditionally. And my hatred towards them was homophobia towards myself, and I needed to grow from that. So I just am wondering nowadays, so having healed from my transphobia, having healed from my self-hatred, my homophobia towards myself, that why can't cisgendered women or birth women, or I don't know, women, however you guys want to say, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I just want to know why they can't accept that there are trans women. That doesn't take away from.
Because there's no such thing.
Okay, but
And it
look,
does take away from our womanhood. When men try to emulate us, mimic us, cosplay us, make a caricature out of us, it is taken away from our womanhood, especially when you're saying you are in fact a woman. And if you ask me, trans women have internalized homophobia because most of them are just gay men who refuse to acknowledge that they're gay men, and rather just say, you know what, I'm a woman, so that they don't have to acknowledge that they like the same sex.
Okay. So women who are opposed to trans ideology are women who think that trans women don't want to, that they don't want to just admit that they're gay men.
Women that oppose the ideology are just acknowledging that women do not come with the male appendage. We don't have prostates, and we were never boys.
Okay, yeah, no, that's my main thing, right? That's my main thing that I'm finding confusing about it is that no one's denying biology. You know what I mean? Like you
Oh, yes, they are. They are denying biology because biologically, an adult male societally is a man. So if you're ignoring the fact that you are born a young male and then you grew up to be an adolescent male into an adult one, you are denying your biology, right? And if you say gender is a social construct, societally, the gender man is synonymous with male. So you are denying your biology.
I feel like you're trying to make a strong point, and I get the point you're trying to make, but
I'm not trying to make a strong point. I'm stating the obvious.
No, well, you're disproving your point at the same point. You're saying that societally you need to be treated a certain way because
No, I'm never saying that society you need to be treated a certain way.
Standards, so you're saying.
Sweetheart, I don't expect anybody to treat me any type of way. I'm not that entitled. That type of entitlement comes from your pardon.
So when so you don't feel like you should be treated as a woman. You never say, as a woman, you should treat a woman this way. You should treat women that way.
No,
you don't feel like women should be treated any other way?
No, I'm never about that. I'm a human being. Treat me as a human being. Right? Whenever you want special treatment, it's because you know that you need people's validation. And if you need people's validation, that means you know you are invalid. Black people have been treated like scum for eons. We don't go up there and say, treat me like a black man. We say, treat me like a man. We don't desire special treatment. We want people to see our humanity. Nobody's denying the humanity of trans people. What we're saying is that your feelings are not facts. You are a man and you're not who you feel you are. That's all we're saying.
Okay, but so this is what I'm saying though. No, so trans women are not walking onto the street saying, I'm a biological woman. I was born with a vagina. No one's saying that. No one's saying that.
Yes, they are.
Okay,
if you're saying that trans women are women,
let's pretend the reality you live in.
Hold on.
The reality you've built for yourself is true.
You notice the conversations that we were having just now? Nobody was talking over each other. It was very civil.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. I will wait my turn. Yeah, you're right.
It's okay. But we have to allow each other to speak. It doesn't need quarrel. All right. So if the mantra that is being propagated on social media and in the streets are trans women are women, what is that telling you?
It says that trans women and women are both women nonetheless, so treat them as women.
What is
black
a woman?
And white women are women.
Yeah, black women and white women are women because both of them are adult human females.
Exactly the point. So
exactly. So what does
Israeli
a trans
women
woman
and Palestinian women are women. That's what they're saying.
I'm going to ask you a question. What does a black woman, an Asian woman, a white woman have in common?
What do they all have in common?
Yeah, what do they all have in common?
What do you want? You want biologically, or is that what
That's
you're saying?
the only thing that they have in common. All of them are adult human females. All of them are adult human females. That's why they're all women. No, when an adult male says, I'm a woman, it's laughable because he does not fall under the category of what a woman is. He falls under the category of what a man is, an adult male. This is why trans women are a subcategory of men.
Okay. All right. Look. Okay. I'm not going to try to change your mind on the fact that there's all kinds of women, and we could just accept trans women as
there
a
are
type
all
of women.
types of women that are adult human females.
I'm going to move on from that aspect of it because I feel like you have a very strong opinion on that, and I don't think I'm going to be able to persuade you on it at all.
It's not an opinion. It's just basic biology.
Okay. No. Listen. There's no arguing that. If somebody is saying like I'm only worried about the biological, and then but shortly after you say that there's just before that you said there's societal issues and societal standards. You said that the first thing, and now you're saying that it's only biological that matters, not societal.
Yes,
So that's fine.
listen, society, sweetheart, has constructed what a woman is. Y'all like to
Okay.
say gender is a social construct, and I agree with you. For the purpose of this argument, it is a social construct, but that means that society formulated what gender is. So society formulated two categories: man, woman. Okay, those are the categories that society constructed. And under the category of woman, they constructed that women are adult human females, men are adult human males. So societally, trans women are not women based on what society constructed. They are men.
Okay. All right. So I moved. Okay, but let's accept that. I'm gonna accept it. Okay, whatever. That's fine. This is my next point that I'm really kind of confused with the TERF movement. Is why does it bother you so much? If why does the freedom of somebody being able to choose to live their life as a woman, no matter if you respect it or not, why does that bother you so much to the point where you choose to be upset or let it bother your day, or you can't respect it, or you can't just be courteous or kind or civil? Why does it bother you to the point where you say, okay,
Because
you don't trust that they're a woman, you don't believe it, you don't respect it, that's fine. But
because
how come you can't just
society
mind your own business?
because it is my business. Once it
It's not
involves
though.
women and womanhood, it is my business. It is my business that men are in women's restrooms, men
It's
are
not.
in women's locker rooms, men
So
are in women's sports, men are winning Women of the Year. It is my business because women have fought for those spaces that men are taking. It is my business because little girls and women are being raped in women's restrooms, women's locker rooms,
can I get one?
right?
Can
By
you just
men
Google
who
one video
cosplay.
of a rape in the bathroom or by a trans woman? Can I just get one? Can you just send it over in a link? Can I just get one footage of that one
Okay, so we
link?
have, hold on. I'm going to give you several links, sweetheart. So
Please
we
do,
have
honey.
a
I
case
want
in
one.
2000 and, yeah, I'm going to give you several. Hold up. So,
Send the link so
right?
I can
No,
prove
no,
the
no, no, no,
source.
no,
I
no. I'm
don't
going to
want
do
Fox
better
News.
than that. I'm going to do better than that. I want you to look it up. Turn your camera on and look it up. Here we go. Loudoun County, 14-year-old girl sodomized in the girls' restroom by a trans woman. The trans woman was 18. Go ahead, look that one up and tell me if you find it. He wants one. I'm going to give him several. I'm afraid to put it up on the backboard because they're reporting, guys. They
No,
are
it's fine.
reporting like crazy.
I'm trying to type it in. You said Lauren Cody?
Loudoun County. Loudoun County. Because you guys know I have them. You guys know I have the news articles. You know I have the mugshot and all these things, but they're reporting, so I can't put it up. BMG, big up yourself, love. Thank you to everybody who's gifting. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the gifts. Remember the gifts. Tap the screen. If you're feeling generous, the PayPal is in the bio. Okay, I'll appreciate it. Thank you, Nathan, baby. So good to see you, my love. Hope you're feeling better, babe. You're not a mod? Oh, you're a mod. Okay. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Daily Vibe. Thank you. Thank you, Queen of the Nile. Thank you, guys. He's reading the case. Give him time. Somebody said it was debunked. Nice try. Tell that to the girl that was raped. There you go. I invited you. You said it was debunked. I sent you an invite. Tell me where it was debunked.
It was not debunked. I live in Virginia. It happened in Loudoun County, Virginia, Northern Virginia.
Thank you. And twice. Remember, it happened twice. Right?
It happened in one school in Loudoun County. Then he proceeded to move the kid to a different school where he did it again.
Yes, and remember earlier this year, a 13-year-old girl
That is why
was raped
Terry
in the girls'
McAuliffe,
restroom. Thank you, Jane.
And then Terry McAuliffe, that's pretty much why Terry McAuliffe lost the gubernatorial race, because he backed Loudoun County. And the parent that went to the school board and fought the charges, he got thrown in jail, and Governor Youngkin pardoned him.
Yep.
So don't try and tell me that has been debunked, because I live here in Virginia.
Yep. Big up yourself, Rika. Thank you for coming on, beautiful.
No problem, hon.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't know about a new incident that happened in same Loudoun County, where a 13-year-old girl was raped in the girls' restroom. It happened earlier this year. People forgot about that one. Nobody remembers that one. He's still Googling. And let's look at 2 women that were raped in women's shelters by trans women. Let's look at that one. Pardon?
I just would like to know if you guys think that sexual assault happens only by trans women inside of the women's restrooms. Because
No, we don't think that. We don't think that, sweetheart. But the problem is that women are more prone to be sexual assaulted, women and
by trans
children.
women.
Right?
That's
No,
crazy.
by
That's an
men.
insane thing to
By
say.
men. By
Oh,
men. Men
okay.
are 93% more likely to commit sexual assault cases, and the primary victims are typically women and children. So,
And
given
the
the
only
fact
way
that
to
you
get access to these women is to dress up as like a woman to get in the bathroom.
Actually, it's not the only way, but in times long ago, when people would see an adult male, whether in lipstick or dresses or not, going into the women's restroom, men would have accosted him, police would have been called, and that man would have been escorted out. But because of this transgender ideology, these men are given free access to women's spaces, and since women don't know which one of these men in women costumes are indeed the predator, women's spaces should be protected at all costs. Because we cannot decipher the good or the bad. So we don't want any man in our restroom. None. And the fact that you just skipped over the fact that these young girls were raped by a trans woman.
Yeah, I
to
skipped
me,
over it.
it's
Yeah, that's
heinous.
what I did. That's what I did. I didn't skip
Heinous.
over it.
Yeah, you skipped over it because you don't care about women.
No,
It's typical
what
for
you're
you
saying
men.
is what you're saying is wild. It doesn't make any sense. I have been
What
molested
you're
by women
saying is
several
why you
times. So
just
how is
admitted
that? So
to
that means
skipping
that all
over it,
women
so
are
you don't
dangerous?
even care, sir. You're arguing. You don't even care about
I
those
don't
little
think it
girls
makes.
that
I
was
don't think it makes
raped
your
by a
case.
trans woman.
I don't.
You
You're
don't
saying
care.
that I don't care because I said it doesn't make your case. Because it
Sir, it
happened
does
doesn't make
make
you
my
right.
case. It does make my case. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, babe. It does make my case because it shows that with this ideology, anybody can go into the women's restroom by simply identifying as us.
So no woman has ever
So no
assaulted
men
another
should be
woman in a
in
woman's
women's
bathroom.
restroom.
No woman's ever
Pardon?
assaulted another woman in another woman's bathroom. No man's never assaulted another man in a
Sir,
man's
that
bathroom.
is not the problem. A woman stands more chance of defending herself against a woman
I just
than
think
we
that
are
you're
against
taking
a
something
man.
and you're trying to use it as fuel for your hate,
Sir,
and it's obvious.
sir, one woman being raped in the women's restroom by a trans woman is one enough. And that is not
Okay.
hate. It is not
Okay.
hateful to say protect women because we are the weaker sex. It's
It's
not
just
hateful to
weird
say
that you.
protect children because they are defenseless and cannot protect themselves against a grown man in women's cosplay.
Okay,
There's
but
nothing hateful about that.
one AR-15 shooting up one school should be reason enough to take them all away. But here we are with
Oh,
guns in every
you know
household
what's
in
funny?
America.
When the
You see what
trans
I'm saying?
man,
You want to take
when the
people's
trans
rights
man,
away. You
when the
want to strip
trans man
people of their
pew-pewed up the
rights.
Christian school,
You want to
sir, I'm
strip people of
speaking.
their rights because the
Sir, I'm
choices of one
speaking,
person, and
sir. I'm
it's
speaking,
crazy.
sir. I'm speaking, sir.
No, you
So
are
your
speaking over me. We were
whataboutism
doing what you
argument
said. We
makes
needed to do
no.
the left, right. But now you're just completely talking over me.
It's
You didn't
okay,
give me
sir.
any
It's
chance to
okay. It's
speak.
okay. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you coming on.
No, you.
When they start to argue, they start to shout, they want to talk over you. They don't want to let you to talk. They just don't want to hear anything that you have to say. And I'm not going to argue with him. I'm not. Right? It's not that time of the day. It is what it is. The facts are
You call it hateful for women to want women and children's spaces to be only for women, because our number one predator or number one assaulter are adult males. But you fail to acknowledge that because you want to push this ideology of men being women. Then you want to talk about pew-pewings as if it's not the same thing. Because guess what? We had a trans man pew 6 people, predominantly children. And what did the trans community come out and say? What did the trans community come out and say? You know what they said? They said, respect his pronouns. So because people were saying this is a woman, the only thing that upset these trans people was the fact that people were saying it's a she, her. It's always about them. Them. Never caring about the victims. So listen.
Oh wow, that
How
was a
old are
lot.
you?
That was a lot, wasn't it?
It was. How old are you?
42.
Awesome. I'm going to say my disclaimer. The live is about civil discourse and conversations. We don't tolerate transphobia, homophobia, or heterophobia. No hateful rhetoric,
Yeah,
ideology, or behavior. No bigotry, bullying, or harassment is ever tolerated. Go ahead.
You don't need to share any of that with me. Everything that just came out of your mouth was transphobic trash. No one's buying your
Wonderful.
disclaimer.
Awesome. What about it was transphobic?
The part where you described trans women as men in cosplay. Listen.
So what else are they?
So gender. Articulate the difference for me between sex and gender.
Listen, you're. All right.
Ma'am,
So
calm
try
down.
to take
What is
deep
the
breaths.
difference between
Take
sex
deep
and
breaths.
gender?
Deep breaths. Take deep breaths.
What
Take
is
deep
the
breaths.
difference between
No,
sex and
hold
gender?
on. I'm trying to hear what you're saying. You were stuttering just now, so that's what I'm saying.
No
Calm
one is
down.
stuttering. What is the
Calm
difference between
down.
sex and
So
gender?
you want to argue.
What is the
You don't want to
difference
debate.
between sex and gender?
There's none.
Yeah, you're just a dumb hag. You're not a cis woman. You're a
Yes.
revolting troll.
Wonderful.
You're fucking repulsive.
Wonderful. So what is the difference between sex and gender? Enlighten me.
Sex is biological. It has to do with chromosomes.
Please report him while he's in here too. So sex is biological, you say. Wonderful. And what else?
So sex is biological. It has to do with chromosomes. It has to do with XX and XY and the 15 other variations of chromosomes a person can have. Gender has to do with neurobiology. It has to do with genetics and endocrinology. It is neurobiological, which is surprisingly also biology. You have your gender of. I'm still talking.
Hold on. You just said something. I'm fascinated by that. Hold on.
Please stop interrupting me. Please stop.
Yeah, you're monologuing, and I can't take it. I want to
don't know what the
explain
difference
what you
is, so you're
say.
going to get an education on it.
I want to explain
your
what
gender,
you're saying.
you
Okay,
have
all
your
right, no
gender.
problem. Okay, sir, no problem. So he just said that gender is neurobiological. Neurobiology. You know what neurobiology has to do? Neurobiology has to do with what? Your DNA. Your biology. So, neurologically, if you're a male, you cannot have the neurological structure of a female, because being a female has to do with your DNA. Thank you. These people on their run, they're agreeing with me, but not understanding that they're agreeing with me. Somebody said not true. Okay, come in here and explain to me how it's not true. Dazed and confused. That's the problem, isn't it? Your username is dazed and confused, and that's the problem. Confusion. So dazed and confused, you said that's not true. If you don't mind, you can request.
Okay, I think this one is an up. Thank you guys for the gifts. Thank you. Continue to send the gifts. I appreciate it. Thank you. Excandix, you're not connecting, sweetheart. I don't know what's wrong with your internet, but you're not connecting. Re-request Excandix or Excandy. I don't know how it's pronounced. You're not connecting, sweetheart. Re-request. Excandix, this is a... Okay, there you go.
Hello,
Hi, good evening. How old are you?
I am 20.
Awesome. What are your thoughts?
So I just had a question. I just wanted to ask you, how do you feel about being referred as a biological woman?
Um, I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
How do you just feel about the language of being called a biological woman? Does that offend you?
What does being a biological woman mean? That's what I'm asking.
That just means being female, being a biological woman, being born as a woman.
Oh, so just a woman.
No, a biological woman, a female.
If being a biological woman means being born a girl and then growing up into an adult, so it's just a woman. So you can just call me a woman. That will suffice.
Sure, by your opinion, but just asking.
No,
Biological
it's not
woman.
my opinion. It's biology.
Biology is that
The biology of a woman is being born a girl, right? Experiencing adolescent into adulthood.
Okay. My question is, how do you feel about being referred as a biological woman? I'm not gonna argue
I'm
on
just a
you.
woman. I'm just a woman. If being a biological means
So
being
you
born a
don't
girl
like
and
being
growing up
called
into
a
an adult,
biological.
I'm just a woman. That's all. I'm just a woman. Is it too hard to be called a woman?
It's not hard. I can call you a woman. I can call you whatever you want, but
It's not what I
the issue I'm
want. It's
having
what I
is
am. I'm
you
just a
are
woman.
okay, but you are coming on here saying that you are not transphobic. You do not support transphobia. You are
Yes,
not about that, but you're
I don't support transphobia, homophobia. We do our best not to misgender anybody. We use the correct pronouns.
you don't.
Yeah, we don't tolerate transphobia or homophobia.
Yeah. Okay, but you are saying that trans people aren't real. So can you explain that one to me? You're saying that trans women are men, and you don't think that trans people are real,
It's
but
not
you're
what
saying
I'm
that trans
saying. I'm
people...
not a biologist. I'm not a biologist, sweetheart. It's not what I'm saying. It's science. It's science. In
Okay, but
science,
how are
we
you
class
saying that? Mm-hmm.
in science we class adult males as men. Right? If a man comes into the emergency room, the doctors will give the rundown. They would say, okay, male, African American male looks to be between the ages of 43 to 46, right, or 43 to 50 years old. Approximately 160 pounds. That will be the rundown. So in science, we understand that men are adult males. I'm not qualified. I'm not a biologist. I'm just going by what the experts say.
Yes, I heard you say that. But that is not the point that I'm making. The point I'm making is that you are saying that your life is not transphobic, but you are calling trans women men and trans men women.
It's not me that calls them that. I am not a biologist. I would never call them that. I don't, hold on. I don't have the medical expertise to diagnose somebody as a male. I'm not a biologist. What I do know is that in biology, men are adult males. And in biology, women are adult females. If you can find a biologist that differs from that, I would be happy to speak with them. That's all I'm saying.
I'm still not talking about biology. I am talking about what you said, what you specifically
I
said.
am just
As the
agreeing with
individual that is making
science.
this live,
I am
what
agreeing
you
with
said.
science. Do you have a problem with me agreeing with science? I
No,
thought you
that's
guys
fine. You
could
can
trust
agree
the
with
science.
science. Okay, so do you believe that gender dysphoria is real?
Gender dysphoria, according to the medical experts who study psychology and neurology, it is in fact a mental illness or disorder, as they
It is not.
classify these days. Do you know what
It
the
is not classified
DSM-5
these days. That
is?
has been disregarded over like 40 years ago, I think. They have
Okay,
not said
wonderful,
that
wonderful.
being gay or trans is a mental illness. It is not qualified as a
Okay,
mental illness.
okay, wonderful.
But
Do you know what the DSM-5 is?
no.
Okay, you can go on your laptop, type in DSM-5 list of mental disorders or illness.
Sure.
Yeah, no problem. You can take your time. Just type in DSM-5 list of mental illnesses.
Okay, so it is classified that gender dysphoria is part of it, right?
Oh, so is gender dysphoria right there above schizophrenia?
How do you cure gender dysphoria?
No, I didn't ask you that, sweetheart. I'm asking you if gender
I'm asking you
dysphoria is
that.
right there, sweetheart. If you came to debate, we're going to have a discussion.
Okay, and
You
I
ask
am
me
pretty much.
questions.
I have
I
asked
ask
you
you
multiple
questions.
questions that you have not answered, though.
Hold on. You said it was not a mental disorder. I asked you to Google it. So I'm asking you if
I
you
said that
found it.
being transgender is not a mental disorder. I am asking you, how do you cure gender
No.
dysphoria?
Listen, is gender dysphoria there with
I'm not going to
schizophrenia?
answer a question that you're asking me when you have not answered a single question that I have asked you.
Ma'am, I've answered every question that you proposed to me. I'm going to ask
You have
you
not
now.
answered a single question that I have asked you
All
yet.
right, thank you. Thank you for your time. Oh, she did find gender dysphoria there in the DSM-5, along with schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, other learning disabilities that has to do with the brain and incongruencies within that, whether it be learning or otherwise. It's also there with a host of eating disorders like bulimia, right? And yeah, there it is. She didn't want to read it because it's there. Okay. I'm trying to get opposition. That's what I'm trying to get, opposition. So if you disagree and you're in the comment section, big up yourself, Natalie. Sydney, we have to speak for TikTok. We have to speak for TikTok because if I use medical lingo, they will say that I'm not, in fact, a janitor, which I am. So I just try to use TikTok verbiage. Anybody who is ops, could you comment in this comment section that you are ops? Yes, medical errors is the third. And you know what the medical error is going to be in the next 50 years? Transgenderism. Puh. Right? That's going to be the medical error in the next 50 years. Gender dysphoria. A lot of people are going to be blacklisted. You said that this was the best way to treat this disorder. There's going to be a lot of lawsuits, although there has been a plethora of them in recent years. Thank you. If you think I'm awesome, please remember to gift, okay? Gift the live, tap the screen, and there's a PayPal link in my bio. Donate what you can. I appreciate it. All right?
Please. Thank you. All right, so here we are. If you are ups, please comment in the comment section. Estella, you were just in here. Hey, Cara, big up yourself. Hot Dog is here. Maybe he would debate you. Hot Dog blocked me on Mandora's Live for no reason. And if you want to see me just destroying Hot Dog, you can go to my YouTube channel. I destroyed Parker as well. Parker, their big champion. Go to my YouTube channel. It's called Shiloh Based. I destroyed Hot Dog. I destroyed Parker. Shiloh Based, one word. Mods, can you type the YouTube channel for me? Please. I destroyed Parker, Aiden. Aiden, let me put my YouTube channel in there for you. Here it is. Shiloh Based, one word. If you don't believe me, go read it for yourself. There you go. The YouTube channel is Shiloh Based, one word. Shiloh Based, one word. There you go. Thank you for the gift. See, the pinned comment is my YouTube. Watch me destroy their star boy, Parker. Watch me destroy Hot Dog. I destroy them all. All right, let me get some more ups in here. Thank you guys for the gifts. I appreciate it.
Hello?
Sir, please say something. Hi, good afternoon. How old are you?
I'm 28.
No, how old are you?
28.
Okay, awesome. So how have you been? How's your day going?
My day's going good. I just have a quick
Glad to
question.
hear that.
You say that you
Yeah,
don't
no
support
problem.
transphobia?
Yeah, I don't support transphobia. It will not be tolerated on my lives, nor will I tolerate homophobia. This is a LGBT community inclusive space. Bigotry is never tolerated.
So your chat is very transphobic.
I don't control the universe nor people's fingers. What is your thoughts?
You do have
What are
banning
your thoughts
options.
about the topic?
You can ban. What are my thoughts?
Yeah.
Let's just talk about how Dr. Adam Lisek, the Director of Education Outreach for Genome Sciences of the University of Washington, supports transgenderism. Dr. Zara Feinberg.
Yes. What are his findings that validated?
What are their findings?
Yes, that validated. People supporting it has nothing to do with me. People have supported slavery. People support grave culture. All these other things. People supporting it has nothing to do with me. What is the science behind it?
They're biologists.
Yes, they're biologists. What is the science behind it? What about biology that validates it? What did he say?
That makes up a transgender person and the brain chemistry of the sex that transgender person is transitioning to are exactly the same.
All right, that's been debunked. In utero, there are certain genes that are distributed to the fetus based purely on their DNA. That also goes to the hypothalamus. So it is impossible for a male to have a female brain.
So why are biologists debating otherwise?
Any
leading
biologist that
scientists in
says, yes, when was this science created? When did he say this?
The science, they don't create things out of nowhere. They
yes,
study
they
what is
do,
already
sweetheart.
there.
Yes, they do. They create things out of nowhere all the time.
Matter
So I'm
cannot
going
be
to ask
created
you,
nor
when did he
destroyed.
publish
So
his
they are
findings?
not creating new things. They are studying
Sweetheart,
things to
sweetheart,
understand the things that exist.
sweetheart, biologists discover new things and they create new things every single day.
They're not
No,
creating it. They're discovering it. They're not creating something.
ma'am, biologists create new things every day.
Okay,
Chemists,
so
physics create
question.
new things every
You're
day.
getting
It's not
really
a
mad.
question. I'm
Stop
asking you
yelling.
a question.
You don't
Oh
have to
my
be
God.
so mad.
Nobody's mad, but you're
You're
saying something that
yelling.
you
Please
are
stop
not.
yelling.
Listen, sir, ma'am, this is my verbiage. You
Yo,
came
you're
on, you
being
heard
really
me speak this
aggressive.
way.
Calm
All right, I
down.
can't do this.
Really
I can't
aggressive.
do this. Sir,
I
I
am
asked you
hermaphrodite.
when
Please
you're
stop
what?
misgendering me.
You're what?
and hermaphrodite.
No, there's no human being born that way.
Tell that to my body.
Your body is male.
Both parts.
Your body is
I'm
male.
sorry.
What were you
You're so
born with?
mad. Why are
What
you
were
so
you born
aggressive?
with? Sir, you
You
said that
sound
you're
like
born,
a school
your
shooter
body
right now. Why are you
collaborates.
so aggressive?
Oh my God, I can't with this man.
I can't with this. I can't with this man. I can't with this man.
Oh,
Sir, can you stop
he's
yelling?
making fun of my
Sir, please
accent.
stop yelling.
He's
Stop
making fun
yelling,
of my
sir.
accent like that's a fake. Sir,
Sir,
is
please
your
stop yelling.
prostate
Stop
swollen?
yelling, sir. Please
Is
stop
your
yelling.
prostate swollen,
Man,
uncle?
please stop yelling.
Uncle, is your prostate swollen? Is this why you're agitated like
Stop
this?
yelling. Stop yelling.
Mm. This is what he has. Hold on, I'm gonna show you what he has that is hurting him. The scabs are being touched. Hold on. 1 second. So he did not dilate his rot pocket today, and that's why he's very upset. He tried to dilate, and one of the devices poked his prostate, and now his prostate is swollen beyond recognition, and that's why he's angry. His pretend vag is growing scabs and being filled with pus, and that's why he's upset. So as soon as he rubs some ointment, some antibiotic ointment on it, he will be better. Okay, so let's all pray for him. Let's all pray. For just $1 a day, you can fund a man with a mutilated phallus today. Give them $1 a day so that they can buy antibiotic creams to rub on their open wound that they pretend is a vag. Okay? Don't come in my life being racist, being bigoted, and expect to be dealt with in a cordial manner. You will be dealt with the way you came in. Okay, sir? He said that he's an hermaphrodite. Sir, you're a man who pretends to be a woman. Nothing else. Sir. Be respectful, be cordial, and we can have civil conversation.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What are your thoughts? How old are you? Sorry.
I'm 19.
Okay, awesome. So what are your thoughts?
Well,
Erin, are you ops?
well,
Erin, if you're ops, you can request. Go ahead.
well, you have said you are not transphobic. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't tolerate transphobia or homophobia.
Respectfully, you are being transphobic right now.
How
I'm not.
so? How so?
You are disrespecting transgendered women.
What is that?
Are you serious right now?
I am being absolutely serious. What is that?
You don't know what a trans woman is.
I've never heard of it. I know that there are women and there are men and there are men and women who are mentally unwell. So which one of the categories is that?
A transgendered woman is somebody who was born in the wrong body. Do you
Born
not?
in the wrong body, like schizophrenia?
No. No, ma'am.
What is it then? What does that mean?
So you're not even going to educate yourself before
I want you to educate me. That's why I'm hosting the live. I know man, woman, and men and women who are mentally unwell. You spoke of a category that I never heard of. So I'm asking you, which one of the categories would that fall under?
A transgender woman is someone who was born in a male's body and transitioned to feel more comfortable with themselves and become who they are.
Oh, so somebody whose mental state isn't right. So in order to alleviate that, they go along with what their brain is telling them that they are.
Yes. And you know what? Many people are happier with themselves after they transition.
Okay, wonderful. So I know somebody, right, who I worked with, beautiful nurse, when I was mopping floors in the emergency room, and she was schizophrenic, and at times when she didn't take her medication, we wouldn't know. But there are times when she would say that, the patients are walking behind her and they're trying to get her, and that there are spiders coming out of her skin. Should I therefore have taken a swatter and smacked her skin to alleviate or unalive the spiders that were crawling out of her body? Should I have sprayed bug spray on her?
I'm sorry, do not compare schizophrenia to transgender.
I'm asking you a simple question. I'm not equating anything. I'm asking you a question. Thank you, BMG. Thank you, babe. Should I have sprayed bug spray on her when she had the psychosis that spiders were all over her body? Should I have sprayed bug sprays?
No.
Why not? She believed this.
Are you serious right now?
I am being serious. She really believed this. This is what mental illness is. It gives you psychosis and delusions in which you think or believe things are happening or you are something that you are not. Just like bulimics. Bulimics believe that they're overweight and that's why they throw up food after they eat it. So I'm asking you, should I have sprayed bug spray on her? You're saying no. So why is it that you don't want me to affirm this mental illness, but another mental illness that speaks to delusion and or psychosis, thinking that you are something that you're not, should be affirmed?
It's not psychosis.
What is psychosis? Do you know what it is? Can you Google that for me?
Are you?
I like the different one. Shoot. I like the one with the curve. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna like that. You can use that one for sure. Oh, she left. Why did she leave? We were having a good discussion. Why did she leave? I wanted her to Google that. Why did she leave? We were having such a good conversation. That's not very nice of her. Why did she do that? Thank you, I will.
Hey-o.
Okay, Chubby. Hi.
What's good,
Good evening.
homie?
How old are you?
What's going on?
How old are you?
I am 31.
Awesome. What are your thoughts?
You're a woman, the same way that a trans woman is a woman,
Yeah, always a trans woman, a woman.
because they're a woman.
Yeah, what is that?
Someone who identifies and agrees with all the principles that is being a woman.
I never identified as a woman. And what are the principles of being a woman?
You do identify as being a woman.
No, I never identified as a woman.
Do you wear dresses? You're wearing. It seems like you're wearing a dress in your
Actually,
profile
right now
picture.
I'm in leggings. So you're saying in order to be a woman, I have to wear a dress?
No. But
Yeah,
I'm
so
saying
what
if
are
you
the
identify as a
principles?
woman, you're going to do womanly
Yes,
things associated with
identifying
being
as
a
a
woman.
woman, wonderful. Listen, Bumble, what is that? Bumble.
Bamble.
You said, what?
Bamble.
Oh, my apologies, Bamble. You said being a woman is an identity. I've never identified as a woman. You said it's the aspects of being a woman. What are the aspects of being a woman?
Big Mac, it's one word. Hold on, let me show you.
I'm confused. So you don't identify as being a woman. You just do a bunch of things that women do.
What are the things that women do?
You know, fight for women's rights, wear dresses, wear makeup, identify
don't
as
wear
being a
makeup.
woman. You don't wear makeup.
No, I don't wear makeup.
Oh, so your profile picture that clearly shows you wearing makeup is you not
I
wearing
don't
makeup.
have on any makeup. Everybody knows that I don't wear makeup.
Okay.
So you're saying makeup makes a woman and dresses make a woman. What else?
Identifying as a woman, agreeing with all
But I
things
don't
women.
identify as a woman.
But you
I
do.
rarely ever wear makeup. I rarely ever wear dresses. I'm mostly in leggings. So am I disqualified from being a
Oh,
woman?
no, I mean, you seem to be wanting to remove yourself from being a woman, even though the
But that's the
quotation in the
thing.
back
What
says,
is the qualifier?
I'm
Because
simply a woman.
listen, sir. There have been
Mhm.
butch women that have existed throughout centuries. There have been tomboys who have existed throughout centuries. But tomboy is a girl that dresses and acts in a masculine fashion. A butch woman is likewise a woman who dresses and acts in a masculine fashion. But they are always been women, adolescent women or adult women. Okay?
Okay.
So if it is that it's dresses and makeup that makes a woman, how is it that
I said
are not women?
I said more than two things. You seem to be
Hold on,
focusing on the
sweetheart.
dresses
We're
and
having a conversation. How is it that drag queens are not women? How is it that femboys are not women? By your definition.
what was the first one?
Drag queens, femboys, butches, tomboys.
I'm pretty sure most drag queens identify as women.
So most drag queens identify as women.
Yeah.
Oh, so drag queens are women.
I mean, that's not logically congruent, but sure.
Sir, I'm asking you a question. Drag queens are women, so femboys are women as well.
I mean, if they identify as being a woman, sure.
So there's no such thing as femboys. There's no such thing as drag queens anymore. There's no such thing as butch women. There's no such thing as tomboys.
I'm confused on why you're
You're
considering
confused,
butch
and that's
women.
the issue. You're confused, and that's the issue.
How am I
That's the
confused? People who identify as being a woman, I will call women.
But I never identified as being a woman.
Yes, you did. You say, I'm not no cis, I'm simply a woman. That is you
No, but it's not an
identifying as
identity,
a woman.
Sweetheart, being a woman isn't an identity. It's a state of being that you experience being born a girl, becoming an adolescent girl, becoming a young woman, prepubescent, pubescent, and then becoming an adult human female. It is an experience. It's not an identity. The fact that I experienced childhood as a female, girlhood as a female, adolescent as a female, and adulthood as a female is what makes me a woman. It's never been a state of identity. It's a state of being. So how can a man who experienced boyhood, right, and
Gender,
manhood be a woman?
gender and biological sex are not synonymous. You know that, right?
So you didn't answer my question.
I did.
Yeah, well, how can if being
Gender
a woman
and
means being born a
sex
girl?
are not synonymous with each other. No, it's
Okay,
not
which
the same.
gender gives birth?
What?
Which gender gives birth?
Which gender?
Yes, which gender?
I mean, any gender can give birth,
Yeah, which
but
gender?
only biological females can give birth.
Which gender typically gives birth?
Biological females are a sex, not a gender.
No,
You
but
need to be
sir,
biologically female to give birth.
hold on. You see what I mean?
Hold
Your
up.
argument makes no sense. Because if you're saying that females give birth, right?
I mean, not all females can give birth, though.
Why is it that we have pregnant women,
Not all females can give birth, though.
but only females give birth, right?
Biological females, sure.
Okay,
Are you
so only
saying
females
that
give birth. Why
trans
is it
women are
that
saying that they're
society-
biologically female?
Hold on, sir. How is it that in society it is synonymous that women get pregnant?
Biological females get pregnant.
Sir, we're not talking about biological females.
Yes,
We're
we are.
talking about because there's only
You
one
talked about
category of
pregnancy. We're
female.
talking about biological females.
Sir, you don't need to say biological female because being a female is biological.
Cool. I
What
could
I'm
call them cis
asking
women
you
too.
is that what I'm asked, there's no such thing as cis women, sir. Now I'm going to
Yeah.
ask if it is that, women don't become pregnant, why is everything called maternity? Why is there such a thing called maternity leave?
Maternity? Well, let's define maternity, shall we?
What is maternity leave?
Maternity.
And what is paternity leave?
Motherhood.
Motherhood. Whoa. Maternity leave means motherhood. Whoa. I didn't know that. Sir, you've educated me today. And what is paternity leave?
So what does that have to do with your argument about trans
It has
women not being
everything to do
women?
with my argument because a mother, what is a mother, sir? Can you look that up?
Define mother. Why are we going down this road? Are you trying to say that?
English, listen.
Are you trying? No, I mean, you keep talking over me, so I'm going to talk over you now. So are you trying to say that trans women are identifying as biological female?
What is a mother, sir? What is a mother, sir?
A woman in relation to her child or children.
A woman in relation to her child or children.
Yeah.
That means women become pregnant and have the children.
No.
And they therefore experience motherhood, which is synonymous with female.
That's
so in
not
society,
true, though.
we've established that women are adult human females, held the categories of motherhood, right?
So
Womanhood.
are women who adopt children not their mothers?
No, sweetheart.
Oh. So they're just not their mother when they're the adopted
No,
mother.
they're not. They're their legal guardians. Did you not know that?
I would consider them since they call them
No,
mother.
societally,
I don't know of a single adopted child that
Sweetheart,
refers to their
sweetheart, legally, they're not their
biologically
mother.
female
In
or
fact, if you adopt someone, sir, legally, if you adopt someone, right, the parent can literally ask for their child back. Did you know that?
No, they can't.
Lord God. All right, thank you for your time.
Oh, what, you gonna kick me now?
Third world country. So if you come in here, right, after adoption, you can literally fight the court system for your child back. It has happened. It has happened. And it will continue to happen. I don't know who the apps are. I'm trying to get, okay.
All right, what's up? Hello? Hey,
How old are you?
I'm 28.
28. Awesome. What's up? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I think you can be I think if you identify with a woman, identify as a woman and you were born a woman, you were born a female, I'm sorry, then you're a cis woman, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just describing the type. It's an adjective. It's just describing the type of woman you are, right? So just like saying like, my mom's a white woman or my mom's a like Hispanic woman, right? It's just an adjective to describe what type of woman they are.
Okay, so a white woman, a Chinese woman, a Hispanic woman, what do they all have in common?
What do they all have in common? They identify with the gender identity of a woman.
What is the gender identity of a woman?
Sure. I define it as somebody who either identifies and is committed to the biological and social roles associated with females. So, right. So somebody that's committed to the biological roles that was born a male. So someone that's committed to the biological roles would be someone that.
Hold on.
Okay.
What are the biological roles of female?
Sure. So, a person born male participating in the biological roles of a woman would be like
Hold
being
on.
on
What, maybe you didn't hear me because of my accent. What are the biological roles of a female?
female. Okay, it's to give birth. Traditionally, right? Not all women, not all females can do this, but
So to give birth,
generally they give birth, they feed their and they breastfeed. Those I would say those are probably like the basic
what about
biological
a
roles.
menstrual cycle?
Yeah, menstrual cycle as well. Yes, you're right.
Okay, having a vagina.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So how does a male fall into that?
Somebody that would be taking hormone therapy, right? They're committing to the biological role. While it's not going to be identical, right? They're identifying with the role as a woman and they're actively making.
But sir, you see, this is where your arguments get skewed, because if acting on the biological roles of a female encompasses child rearing and the ability to rear children, how does a male fall into that? No amount of hormonal therapy will ever allow him to fall into that category.
You're right. It can't. He can't. The person can't transition completely into a female body. But not all females can give birth either,
But
right?
all females have the capacity to give birth.
Now, I would push back on that because there'd be no such thing as infertility then, right? And I don't think.
All females stand, I'm not asking you, all females stand the possibility of becoming pregnant, whether it be through surrogacy or a womb transplant, because the defining factor is the ability to carry child. So how would a male fall under the social category of what is female?
Okay, that would be like adopting a new name, adopting a new hairstyle, adopting female clothing, using pronouns.
Sweetheart, we're
I'm sorry.
talking about female. You base your argument on the female anatomy. Anyone who
Did you say social or biological? I think I may have misheard you.
You said, and I quote, because I'm recording, the social and biological aspects of female.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Socially, females are able to give birth. Biologically, we possess the capability of doing that as well. How would a male fall under the category? That doesn't include hairstyles, because female has been wearing short hairs, long hair, dreadlocks, curly hair, straight hair for eons. Some women wear clays in their hair, like many tribes in Africa. Beautiful, by the way, right? So how would a male fall under the social and biological aspects of being a female?
So yeah, I explained the biological factors. He would have to go through hormone therapy to mimic it as best as he can. But I'll concede. I'll concede to you. You're right. He can't be at 100%. I'm not going to argue that point with you.
Okay. No, you're not conceding that he can't be 100%. You're conceding that socially or biologically, a man cannot be a woman based on the physiology of woman. That's what you're conceding to.
No, because I think we're just gonna have to agree to disagree on the definition, because you can socially transition. Changing your pronoun is a way of socially transition.
You can socially transition, right, amongst your peers, but will the larger populace of society acknowledge you thereas? No. This is why we're having this discussion to begin with. You can chemically transition into appearing to be female, but will society, right, or biology back you on that? The answer is no, right?
Well, I would say not yet, right? Like society and biology is ever changing, right? 100 years ago, there was no such thing as like gene therapy. Now it's like a very advanced part of biology, and similar to societal norms 100 years ago, they're vastly different today.
No matter how advanced we are in biology, the complexities of one's biology, male or female, is so deep that not even science can affirmatively say this, or this, literally. So even in a billion years, just by the DNA alone, just with the DNA alone, it will never be possible, ever, categorically. And I challenge any scientist or biologist to come in here and tell me otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I kind of avoid saying never ever because a lot can change.
Ever,
But
ever. Transgenderism has been around since eons. Men have been perverted since eons. And with the perversion of man comes the perversion of woman and society. So this has been a practice for eons, and it's never happened.
see,
Never.
I understand not being able to understand it because it is a complicated like thing to wrap your head around. But I mean, I wouldn't call them perverted. Like I think that's taking it a two-step
It is
farther. I think they're
perverted.
just different.
Sorry, do you know what autogynephilia is?
No, I don't.
All right, maybe you need to look that up. That is when a man gets sexual gratification from dressing up in female apparel. A matter of fact, in the earlier days of the DSM, transgenderism was labeled as that.
Yeah, but it's not anymore. And that's like you're implying that every trans person has that.
Do you know who Mandora is?
Do I know who is?
Mandora.
No, I don't.
He has green hair with male pattern baldness, receding hairline.
Okay.
Okay, so he said he transitioned into becoming a woman. And some of the times he posts things like, you know, in his swimsuit and he says, "This is the hottest I've ever been in my life." And you can hear him like, "This is the hottest I've ever been," right? And he flashes his chestises on the screen. Ever since he got a boob job, he's been forcing his pectorals, because they're not boobs. He's been forcing his pectorals together in a sexually provocative way. And that is what he claims makes him a woman, right?
Yeah.
He also had bottom surgery, right? And all these other things. And in my opinion, he gets turned on by his own appearance, by his own, you know, surgery.
That's a lot of speculation there. I don't
No,
know the guy, so I can't
watch
comment on it.
watch it,
But
you will see. Watch it, you're cringe. You're cringe. So a lot of T women do have autogynephilia. This is why a lot of them say that they're lesbians, just like Mandora. He gets turned on by himself as a woman, in women's apparel, rather. And since you conceded, thank you for your time. I appreciate you coming on. You know, take care of yourself. So he basically conceded. Is there? Wait, how is that honest?
Hello?
Do you mind coming in?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Legendary, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay, awesome. What are your
All
thoughts?
right. Firstly, I just wanted to know, just for clarification, you are not trans, right?
Maybe
You are not.
I am.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Maybe
Yeah.
I am.
Just decide,
Listen,
yeah.
hold on.
Well, that's not my question. That's not my question. I had a question I wanted to ask.
I'm speaking and answering your question.
Okay.
Maybe when I got my pad to catch my menstrual cycle, my blood clot fell out. Who knows? Who knows?
Okay. Yeah, so so if that were the case, you would still be.
Hold on. I'm fixing my pad. Hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna save it for you later to make a stew with for you.
That's crazy. I'm not. So, my real question for you. So, do you understand that there are human beings, right? You know that human beings are things that exist, right? You know what those are.
I'm educated. I don't.
All right, so human beings are apes that were born on planet Earth. We evolved over a couple million years. Anyway, that has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with my question. But yeah.
Sir, we don't have time for this mumbo jumbo. You and I were never an ape, and I feel insulted. You called me a black woman an ape.
You asked me. I was answering. That has nothing to do with my original point.
Sir, get on the top. Get on the top. Oh my God.
Okay. So you understand that human beings sometimes use different words to characterize things. We have terms in Latin and English. You understand that there are terms in Latin and English, right? That's right.
Sir, I'm trying to see your point, but you're keep on asking. I don't understand where you're going.
Okay, so we have a Latin term for people who are born women that is called cisgender. And we have a normative term that we use for
just the general population that is women. When we say cisgender, it's not like an insult or a slur against you. It just means that you're categorized as different. It's a Latin root. We use them all the time. For example, humans are Homo sapiens.
Okay, wonderful. So this term cisgender, where did it come from?
Latin.
It came from Latin. Where is it?
Yes. Latin, so I can pull that up right.
No. I'm asking you, where is cisgender used in medicine? That's all I ask. He's Googling.
Hello? Oh, she gone. All right, yeah. I don't know if I'm muted or not. But yeah, I wasn't Googling anything. But cisgender is Latin. It's a Latin term we use, and then woman would be the normative term we use. It's not like an insult or anything to women. I'm not muted. Goddamn. All right. They should never let me on here. You all saw me Google it?
Wonderful. So I
know I already had it pulled up on Google because I knew it was the thing.
Hold on,
but yeah,
sweetheart.
all right. Yeah. What are we talking about?
Wonderful. I asked you a question. Where is cisgender used in medicine?
Oh, in medicine. Nowhere. I don't think we use it in medicine at all. Why would that affect it? We don't use
so it's not used in medicine?
We don't use every Latin term in medicine. We use a lot of Latin terms, especially for disease names, but we don't use every Latin term in medicine.
Either you want to have this conversation because you're afraid you're going to use, or you just want to be kicked. It's one of the two.
No,
So
I
I'm
don't
gonna
want to be
ask you
kicked.
again.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So cisgender is not a medical term.
No.
And it's not used in science. Okay, wonderful. So it's a social category.
Yeah. No, it's not. For social, we use woman. Socially, like normatively, we would use woman.
Okay, so socially it means woman.
Yes.
So socially, do we have a category for woman already, which is woman?
We have women, but then we have a Latin version because we have Latin versions of everything.
Woman can be found in every language, sir. Right?
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm going to ask you again. So it's a social category.
Cisgender is a Latin category.
Cisgender
We don't use
is a Latin category, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Cis is a Latin prefix, which means on this side. Or on this
that's what I said.
side.
Yeah.
Hold on, because you've been saying a whole lot of misinformation. And you think you're... So cisgender is a prefix that is used in chemistry and sometimes in biology. When it's used in biology, it's used with DNA molecules, right? So cisgender is a social category because it's not used in science, right? Because for it to be...
Yeah, I already said that. Yeah, I said it's not scientific.
Hold on. For it to be cisgender in medicine, it would have to do with biology. Because in biology, we recognize two genders, male and female. So cisgender isn't a category of woman in medicine. It's a social category that has to do with transgenderism.
It has to do with the language. You can say it's a social category in terms of the fact that it came from language. I guess language is a social thing. So yeah, I guess you're right. It is like social, but it's a language difference. Yes.
That makes it a social thing. It's because it's a social category of a group of people who believe in gender ideology. So
yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Cisgender was used for transsexuals, right? And transgender were used for just ordinary trans people. It was used in 1993 in a paper, right? By a student of Waldemar Segush, which is a German sexologist.
And what do you have to say?
Waldemar Segush. Okay, that is where the term originated. It was also used in 1904 in Germany, because what a lot of people don't understand is that the very same ideology was being propagated in Germany in 1904, right? And older, and it still had to do with transgender women who opted for these kind of surgical procedures and ones who didn't opt for that. So there is no cisgender woman in terms of womanhood. It's for men. It's for men who've had the surgery
For
and want to
men.
appear female. Okay? Woman already has a category, whether it be socially or biologically. And it's an adult human female. We don't need another descriptor because by calling her female, we are already described of having the capability to give birth.
True, but we have other descriptors. We have many of them. There's a lot of things we call women right now, but women is just like, you know, the baseline one. And cisgendered or cis women is another one. Another one? Okay, so let's talk about guys who talk. There's two types of guys, right? There's guys who talk about women who are, you know, as angels.
Talking about women here, what are the other categories of women?
Okay, well, there's mothers, there's sisters, there's friends, there's what?
Only adult human females can be mothers.
Yeah, I didn't deny that. There's a bunch of descriptions. There's people who talk about. There's the descriptors of all the descriptors of women that are negative. You know those.
Woman, and it's an adult human female because if you're gonna say it's mothers, it's girlfriends. Girlfriends are the female partner of men or males. Okay? If you're gonna say sister, sisters are the male siblings, right? If you're gonna say wife,
not a
it's
male.
the female partner of a husband or a male. These are everything. So woman already has a descriptor.
Yeah, woman has a lot of descriptors. I agree.
And it all encompasses being a female.
It all encompasses being a female. Yeah, I would probably agree with that. But we're human beings. We make up other terms for things. Like there's more than just one term for, you know, lots of things. It doesn't need to be that there's just one term. We have a lot of different languages from this planet.
We don't need a new term. The one that we've had for eons and eons was just fine.
But that term itself has changed. That term itself has changed over eons and eons as well.
No, it's not changed. It's not changed.
The term itself, yeah, it's different in a lot of different languages.
Sir,
right?
It still encompasses an adult human female.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yes, so we already have a descriptor. No matter the language, no matter.
But you can add descriptors. Yeah, why can't? Tell me why you think we can't have descriptors. Tell me why you think we can't.
Women, tall women, short women, but it still encompasses being an adult human female.
Yeah, I agree. I would, actually, no, yeah, I would 100% agree with that, but I don't see what that has to do with trans people. Or being cisgendered. Cisgendered makes sense.
Cisgender makes absolutely no sense because it means that I ascribe to an ideology that has to do with
Oh, okay. So for you, it's not a social descriptor. It's an ideological descriptor. I see.
It's an ideology.
But it's not though because it's old and Latin. We've had this description for a while.
I honestly don't know what's wrong with the mic. I've muted and it is what it is. I don't know.
You sound fine to me. You think it's mine? Let me try.
What about the mic?
Is yours good now?
Yep.
Oh my God! Yeah, that was my headphones. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know. I just wanted to pop in to let you know that cis is a Latin term, just a descriptor. It's not like a slur and an insult or anything.
So,
is it better now? Let me know if it's better. Let me turn the mic up to see if it's better. Oh, guess what happened? My finger was over the mic. My bad, guys. My bad. All right, so yeah, and he conceded. So there is no need for a different category or a different descriptor of woman, since we are adult human females. That is descriptive enough. I just need ops. I don't know.
What?
hi, how old are you?
18.
You have to speak up. I can barely hear you.
18.
What year were you born?
2004, December 5th.
Okay, that adds up. All right. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
If you believe you're a woman, then why do you have to keep creating all these lives?
I don't believe that I'm a woman. It's never been a belief. It's always been a fact. I'm sitting on a pad right now, very uncomfortable. I host these lives because men want to erase what is a woman, and I will not stand for that.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for coming on. He said he was 18, so
You're
You were gonna say something foul, and if you did, I would have eaten you up, and you would have probably shed crocodile tears. Don't come on my live trying to disrespect me. I will drag you, and I don't care about being banana. He said he was 18. That's all TikTok needs.
hi, good afternoon. How old are you?
I'm 31.
Awesome. What are your thoughts?
So I have a couple of things. One, I take issue with saying that trans people have a psychological disorder.
Oh, are you qualified or are you a psychologist?
I do have a psychology degree. I did not choose to go into being a psychologist.
Okay, wonderful. So what is gender dysphoria?
Gender dysphoria is having a disconnect between the gender that you were assigned at birth and the gender that you feel that you are and identify with.
In psychology, what does a disconnect from reality mean?
So you're taking and trying to say that it is
No, it's not what I'm taking.
No. Let me finish. I have been listening to you, and you have said that it is a delusion. It is not a delusion.
I don't need you to monologue and tell me this and tell me that. In psychology, which you are qualified in, what does it mean to have a disconnect from reality? That's all I asked you, ma'am.
It depends on what the disconnect is. You are taking the words disconnect. So here's the problem. You are taking disconnect from reality, and all you're doing is trying to get people to say that they have a delusion. The DSM-5-TR.
I'm asking you, ma'am. You are the I'm starting to believe that you are not what you say you are. What is a disconnect from reality classed as? That's all I asked you.
Okay. You want me to look it up and say that delusions are a disconnect from reality?
Why would you look it up? You're a psychologist. That's your field. So what is a disconnect from reality?
Delusion is a belief that is clearly false and indicates an abnormality in the affected person's content of thought.
Oh, so basically a delusion.
That's what I just said. A delusion is.
Okay, wonderful. So if people who suffer from these, disconnect are experiencing delusion based on what the classification of delusions are, isn't that person mentally unwell?
No.
Huh?
They need assistance in figuring out whether or not it is an actual delusion.
Yes or no, as a qualified person in psychology, if a person is experiencing this illusion from reality, is that not the person being mentally unwell?
According to the DSM-5-TR, not the DSM-5, the DSM-5 is outdated. The DSM-5-TR, according to the DSM-5-TR, gender dysphoria does not always have delusions.
What DSM-5-TR said, sweetheart.
Yes, you are. You're asking me according to psychology, what do they define?
So I'm not asking you what they define gender dysphoria as. I'm asking you simple questions, ma'am. If you are having a disassociation from reality, an incongruence with reality, that means you're mentally unwell, right?
No. Because you are
No.
saying that the trans people are
Okay.
mentally
So
unwell. And
nobody
that is
said
not
that.
what I am saying.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that. We're having a
You are
conversation.
saying that. A
Ma'am,
previous guest you had up, you said that they are right under schizophrenia. You're saying that all of their gender dysphoria is a disconnect and a delusion.
Okay, I can't with this. Calm down. Take deep breaths. Take deep breaths. Take deep breaths. Take deep breaths. Okay? Count to 10. Count to 10. All right, I'm gonna unmute you now. And I'm expecting an answer. Okay? Simple answer. Yes or no? If you are experiencing, right, incongruence with reality, is that being mentally unwell, ma'am? Yes or no? Ma'am, you're on pod, you're Googling or something, I don't know.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that there was a pop-up.
No.
If
you are experiencing, ma'am, I'm asking you a simple question. It's yes or no. If you are experiencing,
it is not a simple yes or no answer. Is the problem?
Very simple. It's very
no,
simple.
it isn't,
ma'am. If a schizophrenic person believes that there
if a
are
schizophrenic person,
I'm asking you a question, ma'am. I'm asking you a question. If a schizophrenic person is experiencing psychosis, which is they believe that things are happening that are not happening, a breakaway from reality, is that mental illness?
is that mental illness? Yes.
Is it delusion?
Yes, for a schizophrenic, yes.
Okay, wonderful. If a man looks at his phallus and says to you, it is not a phallus, it is a badge. I am not a male, I am a female, I am a woman, refuses to acknowledge his testicles, wants to snip them off. Is that delusion?
No.
It's not delusion?
No.
If a person is bulimic and weighs is 6'4" and weighs 90 pounds and says, I am overweight and refuses to eat, is that delusion?
Yes.
So what is the difference between the other delusions and, thinking that you're a woman when you're not?
Because the difference here is gender is a social construct versus...
Ma'am, I'm asking you again. What is the difference from all these breakaway from reality? That's all I asked you.
So
what is the difference?
I was trying to answer you, but then you interrupted me. If I'm allowed to answer you, then I can answer you.
You're going to say that gender is a social construct, right? Yes. But that has been debunked on my life already. Because gender, based on medicine, which you studied, is male or female. This is what gender is.
How do you account? How do you? If it's been debunked, how do you account for people that are intersex?
What is gender in medicine?
Gender is social. In medicine, they're not going to ask you are a woman or a man. They're going to ask you, are you male or female?
What is gender in medicine?
There is no gender in medicine. It's male or female.
My God. This woman said there's no gender in medicine. Ma'am, why is the medical field structured around male and female?
Male and female, yes. Not man and woman.
So, ma'am,
gender is different from sex.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you again. How old are you?
31.
Ma'am, you and I are around the same age. Ma'am, 10 years ago, when you were filling out form, what did it say on your doctor's and the form, on your medical form?
Female.
When it's the gender.
It's never once said woman. It does not ask me what gender
woman.
I am.
Ma'am, I'm not talking about woman. Did it say male or female under gender?
Male or female? Yes, it asked me my sex, not my gender.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you again.
Female.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you again. Ma'am, I'm going to ask you again. If now when you go to your practitioner and it says gender, it says male, female, non-binary, or other, right? What is gender in medicine?
It's a gender identity. It is not what's in my pants.
Ma'am, what is gender in medicine?
Gender in medicine is your gender identity, not your sex, which is your chromosomes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I could not do it anymore. I cannot do it anymore. I'm sorry. That was too much. The stupidity was too much. When you go to your GP, you don't see under gender, man, woman. You don't see that. You see gender, male, female, other. That's what you see. In medicine, there are two genders. Okay? There are two. Two. For you to say that there isn't any gender in medicine, you obviously never went to school. You said that you studied psychology. You're a liar.
Hi.
Maddie, she made no sense because she conceded that when you go to, I don't think you people have the intellectual fortitude, the intellectual capability to understand the things that are being said on this live. Because if I asked her, how old are you, person that came in?
I'm 37.
How old?
37.
Okay, 1 second. If I asked her, when you go to your GP and you fill out the form, what does it say under gender? She said male, female, other, right? This is what she agreed to. Then I asked her, how many genders are there in medicine? She said none. Do you understand how stupid she sounds? Anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, once again, we do not tolerate bullying on this live. We will not tolerate any kind of bullying, any kind of harassment. We don't condone transphobia, homophobia, or heterophobia. No hateful rhetoric, ideology, or behavior. No bigotry, bullying, or harassment will ever be tolerated on this live. Ever. Go ahead. What are your thoughts?
So, sorry. I come from a country where we don't have term for gender. We don't have a concept for gender. We have only sex concept. And the word for the act of sex is different from the sex people have. So I was trying to wrap my head around the whole gender thing, and I have question for the people who said that gender is social construct. How can something you evolve around, your whole personality evolves around your sex? How can this be a social construct?
Exactly.
This is absurd because here in the comments someone said there are women that don't have periods. Yeah, and that's quite diminishing for those women. First of all, there are quite few, but imagine the frustration becoming a woman, and from a small girl, most of the women, they imagine how they get married and have children, and when they enter puberty, they understand that they cannot have children. Do you understand how diminishing is that for a woman that suffered through this? And I don't understand why transgender people want to fit in a box they don't fit in. This is diminishing to their self too. I don't know why they want to say that it's diminishing, because to be someone, to look at your body and not recognize yourself, and to say, oh yeah, I'm a woman, not knowing, not having any idea what is to be a woman. No woman knows what is to be clothed in someone else's body, like they say. And we cannot imagine that the same way that trans people cannot imagine what is to be a woman. And I don't get why people are so desperate to fit in a box, why they are so desperate to say that this is a woman. What about the tomboys? They are not a woman? They are no women just because they don't fit in the box? Or what about single mothers who work like men, care for the children like mother? So what? They are no more women then? Because why? They don't fit in the box?
I've asked the same question for one.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Yeah, I asked the same question earlier because he said one of them came on and he said that being a woman it means to wear dresses and do makeup. And I'm like, I grew up as a tomboy. The first time I wore a dress was when I was getting married, right? I grew up, wearing my brother's jeans. I cut off my hair. They used to call me Man Raya in my culture, Man Raya, which is like a girl who dresses and acts like a boy. So I'm thinking to myself, so was I disqualified from being a woman? Even to this day, I mostly wear leggings because when I sit down, I spread. You know what I mean? I sometimes forget that I have ladies. So I don't like wearing dresses a whole lot. So these things, to me, it's just asinine. It's insulting. It's demeaning that our womanhood is being reduced to basically femininity, for lack of a better word.
I understand you. I am also a tomboy. I never play with dolls. I always played with cars and climbing trees. So I understand that. And also I have